All right, welcome to episode 81 of R is Untitled. I'm your host, R. Jones. And before I even get to who's with us tonight, let me just say this 3 words for you: like, share, and subscribe. One more time for the cheap seats: like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I think our camera's not working. Let me go off for a second. Let me tell you who's here. We got my man, formerly of the BX now. He resides in Carolina. Dominic Donato's here. How are you, sir?
Good to go, R. Let's get it started, buddy.
Let's get it started. And also, my main man, Ronan Black, is here from Gotham City. Ronan, how you feeling tonight, buddy?
I'm all right, man. I'm good.
All right, good to have you on. And last but not least, one of my dear good friends from Hollis, Queens. Well, I shouldn't even call him a friend because he's been taking these little sniper shots at me lately, which I don't really appreciate. So I'm going to take back the friend. I'll just say
Wow.
he's an associate of mine.
Oh,
Wow. I've been demoted.
That's right.
Downgraded.
Stop taking these shots.
Yes.
David is here. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing well. How you
Good
doing,
to see you.
fella?
Good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining us
What's up,
tonight.
Dave?
What's up? What's up?
Dave, aka Deadshot, yo.
I'm trying to tell you, man. That's him firing off shots, and then he slips into the background and whatnot. I'm like, yo, I see you, man. Trying to do that to me. Shame on you. And you have the nerve to call me a friend. I'm like, well, friends like you, I don't need no goddamn enemies.
Well, so then I take up two categories for you.
Well, let's get into this show tonight real quick. First thing on the docket tonight: ESPN cutting ties with Shannon Sharpe, aka Shay Shay. Listen,
Where's
you know,
Bishop when you need him?
let me tell you exactly. He'll be here soon. Let me tell you something. This guy. One of the other topics we have tonight is: has our elders failed the younger generation? He's one of them. He's one of them, and I say that for a reason. He could do. He should have done a lot better. He wasn't thinking. He was acting irresponsible, and to me, he's guilty anyway. Because when you settle a case, I'm sorry. To me, when you settle a case, I want to hear about. Oh, you want to make it go away? No. If you're innocent, fight it to the end. I don't care if you're sick of it. I don't care if you want to get rid of it. Fight it to the end. So to me, in my eyes, and I could be wrong, but he's guilty for that.
He about to get by someone else for $20 million, I think.
I forgot who that. Oh man, I heard about that story, Ronan. And you're right. He's about to get sued by somebody else, and the shit is ridiculous.
To your point, R, you always hear, I would have spent this much. But I'll be damned, is lawyer fees $20 million? Court fees $20 million? I don't know, guys. I'll be honest, I've never been to court. Thank God.
Right.
The way they make it, you know how they always say, well, it's cheaper to settle out. Shit.
Where's it? Where's cheap at $50 million? I don't get that.
Man,
I don't get that.
Cheap. Does he even have money like that? I mean,
I don't think so.
Not after losing that contract with ESPN.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Thank you. I don't think so. And that's another thing, Ronan. He blew a shot at $100 million contract by getting fired. He blew, and again, over a very irresponsible decision that he made. So,
but that's that. I look at the ideology though. You look at him. You look at Arenas. You look at Marcus Morris. All these dudes make money and they do dumb shit on a regular basis because they think. First of all, they never heard no coming up athlete, and on top of that, they think they're untouchable.
Right.
I don't know where they're living at. I mean,
yeah, not on this
can get touched. So
exactly,
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Exactly.
Our
not
bosses
on this.
that got touched, cartel bosses that got touched. You just you're a celebrity, former
yeah.
athlete.
Welcome to the real world.
Welcome to the real. Remember a few years ago, Dave, when we were still doing this on the phone?
Yeah.
And we had that conversation. I forgot their names, forgive me. But you remember they left the dice game or a card game. I think they were football players. They went back strapped and remember that?
That's the dude who got drafted by the Giants or the
yeah,
Seahawks.
exactly. Yep, he was drafted by the Giants, Ronan. Yeah. Remember we talked about that? We was like, these guys are just Out of
Dumb.
control.
Well, sometimes I remember Dave Chappelle, and he had a line where he said, they should have never have given y'all, some money.
Money, right?
Rick James.
Yep, and it's true because money, it's often said that it doesn't change people; it brings out who they are, and a lot of these people have this is who they are, and now they just have money and access, but their behaviors are just like them on steroids. So I think that from what I know of the brothers on here, I think that we are good, decent people.
Right.
And we have fun and we play around with each other and stuff like that. But I think that if we suddenly had a windfall, you're not going to see another side of us. Like we're not going to go out wilding out.
Right.
And we might spend and maybe have a good time, but we're not going to change up who we are. And I think that's what happens with especially a lot of these younger guys, but not so young guys either. It's just I think I don't remember who said it, but I think maybe Ronan might have said it about not being used to know.
No, because the athletes.
Yeah. Like who's told them no their entire lives?
And to your point, Dave, we are those guys. I'm pretty sure not one of us on here grew up with a silver spoon in our mouth.
Right.
So everything that we've accomplished to our ages now, me and R is about the same age.
Right.
Dave's a couple of years.
I'm 1 year behind you guys.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, we've seen. I ain't gonna say we went from the gutter to the penthouse, but we've seen a change in our financial lives from then till now.
Of course.
And I don't think none of us act like some buck wild ass. I never had. And I love that. I never had nothing. You know what they say? It's not the love of money. It's what is it? How does it go? Not the love of money, but some shit. Yeah. That's how, like Ronan said, you get $1 and come on, man. Not everybody that's doing this shit grew up in the South Bronx, Yeah,
no, but what gets me are the guys that don't need to do it, but they feel like they've got to put on some kind of show. And of course, these are the guys who have 10, 20 guys in their entourage, and they're trying to, put up this image, and they're the ones that lose out, big time, because when it all goes down, you're trying to figure out who those 20 guys are, but you know who the celebrity is. Right off the bat, everybody could tell you so-and-so was there. You might not be able to name the other guys in the crew. Oh, the guy that always hangs out with him, but you don't know his name. Yeah. But you know who the celebrity is. So even if you are not doing something, but you're in the proximity, people are going to point out, oh, they were with so-and-so.
Right.
So now your name is caught up in something. And then you get the idiots. And I'll use the example of somebody like John Morant. You don't have to wild out like that. Wasn't the whole thing about wanting to get in the league so you can make it, so you don't have to do? So why they revert back to these things? And half of the guys that are doing it are faking anyway.
And he's a total oxymoron guy.
Yeah,
this dude grew up in a good household.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but they want the attention.
He didn't grow up in the South Bronx.
Nope.
They want, gentlemen, they want the attention.
They want the Shannon Sharpe guy. He's the
you understand what I'm saying?
Talking. Yeah, Shannon Sharpe's always the guy talking about the little hooch he stood in and his grandmother.
Yeah, his grandmother, exactly. What would grandma say now?
Yeah, exactly. And really, I don't know. And it seems like it's a disease. I don't know.
Like I said, fuck that guy. Sorry, good, Ronnie.
Yeah.
When I was coming up, like I posted that video in the group chat a while back. My father and stuff like that. He was back in bandstand.
Yes.
So when we was kids, I didn't know until maybe I was like 11, 12 years old.
Mhm.
Like my father had a job, but they did like reunion shows and stuff like that. They performed at Beacon Theater, shit like that,
Okay.
Atlantic City. So the first time I found out, all right, that was, they did something. Remember that show used to come on back in the early '80s, PM Magazine with Bill Bob?
Yeah.
Okay.
They came to our house in Plainfield, New Jersey at the time.
Mm.
Mm.
So the whole neighborhood was buzzing. I'm like coming around biking, what's going on? It's like, yo, there's a news van in front of your house. And they were doing some big show with them and the platters, all this nonsense like that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that because my father was just followed the work. He did this, that stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then things changed. And then when I, lived out there, suburbs, moved back to Newark, my parents separated. And years later, as an adult, I lived up in the mountains. So I would go back home to Newark and I'd be with a couple of black dudes who was up in the mountains. And these dudes be acting the fool, man. I'm like, yo, what y'all doing, man? He's like, oh, you know how we get down? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mm.
All I know is that you in my home territory. you live up in the mountains, yo, where there's bears and foxes and
Right.
eagles.
Right.
This is not your life.
Yeah.
Right.
You living through a record. You living through music videos, man. And these dudes don't understand that this stuff is on Instagram, these videos, all this other nonsense. You living a lie. These dudes are living lies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because if they was like, oh, if I was moving keys and stuff like that, you wouldn't be a rapper.
Mm.
Right.
They would make a show about you like Narcos. That's what you be doing. You have no
Right.
need.
Right.
You make triple what
Right.
you making in the record industry.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. No,
You're a
it's true.
basketball player. You're a football player. We grew up in so we all grew up in the '70s. So even in the '80s, where if you was an athlete, those dudes would tell you like, look, this ain't for you, man. Look,
Right. Right.
it's all right. It's all
Hmm.
right. Do your thing, man. And
Mhm.
they give you a wide space. And they know that. Shannon Sharpe knows that. So these dudes like him, Gilbert Arenas, you ain't no gangster, dude. You never
No.
have been.
No.
You're a
Yeah.
clown
But
with bad takes.
yeah, exactly. To Rona's point, though, what happened. I guess I'll say the '90s when a lot of the reality programs came on. That started this thing with
Yeah.
image,
Yeah.
and a lot of these people were performing, and so they would go on these shows and they would get viewers by behaving a certain way, and this is
Mhm.
before social media.
Right.
So we saw this, and everybody started aspiring to wanting to. This is how I get my name out there. I don't have to have talent. I just have to have this personality that draws people, good or bad. It doesn't matter. So
Right.
so at that point, we lost shame. We lost, a lot of our morals because the moral compasses were now askew. It's like holding the compass out there, and you're going east, but the thing is pointing left, west.
Mhm.
We lost that, and then social media just picked up on all of that, and so now you don't even need the reality show. You don't have to audition for anything. You can make your own content. You can go out there and act foolish, and then next thing you know, you get legitimate work out of of creating this image and persona.
That's an excellent point, by the way. Excellent point.
Thank
I like
you.
how you had said about the whole let me bring
Rewarded for being a fool.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
there you go. And of course, Sir Shamik, the Mike 5, thank you for joining us.
What's up,
Appreciate you.
brother?
What's good, brother? We was talking about Shannon Sharpe real quick, that whole situation.
I was finishing up some work on the computer.
Yeah.
I came at the right time, huh?
Yeah.
Shannon Sharpe. Oh man, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. We talking about, but David came with a point saying about the whole lineage, how this whole thing started, especially in regards to getting attention and whatnot, and making profits off it. It all started with the whole reality TV show, and then when you from there kind of progress into whole social media, and you can act a certain way with no talent, but now your name is out there, you're known. You understand what I'm saying? It's a bunch of bullshit
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, and as you guys know, and I get off of this, but I work in a high school,
Right.
and so we have. If you think 20 somethings are impressionable, look at teenagers,
Mm.
and so the whole idea of look when we were in school, if a young lady did something unbecoming of a young lady, and I'll just leave it at that,
Which we see
there
every
was
day.
there was a lot of shame involved in it, and people talked all about it. At some point in my career, I noticed that the shame was removed from it, and that notoriety became something that people took as well. It's just a way of promoting myself, and there was no shame about these doing these things, and they stayed right there in the school, and everybody knew about it, and there were videos all about it, and it was to the point where, well, then at what point do you stop? What is shameful to you? What is about it? How far will you go? And you're doing it for attention from other teenagers. You're not even getting paid for anything. So I just see it as all of this is the evolution of how we brand ourselves, and what we are willing to do, what lengths we are willing to go, and then it's only a problem when you find out that somebody got some money to sue somebody for something. But y'all been doing all this stuff. Y'all did it for nothing. But now all of a sudden you get somebody that comes along and say, "Well, I didn't like what happened, and I'm going to sue." And then all these other people start coming out of the woodwork and saying, "Oh, well, they touched me too, and I did it." Well, you were there. You put yourself there.
I blame Ray J.
Yeah.
Oh God. Let me get Shamik's take, if he has a take on this whole Shannon Sharpe situation, sir. Because then she started out cracking up when I first brought it up.
I think it's ridiculous. He had to pay $23 million for something, to my knowledge, was consensual, but he should know better. He's been around long enough to know, going through the NFL. I've been around NBA players and some of the NFL players. He's been around long enough to know that there's certain precautions. Like it's no secret that some of them film stuff to make sure they can't get sued, or have people there and do all kind of stuff to make sure those precautions are taken. Like, he shouldn't even gotten in this situation. And then he's texting stuff and saying stuff on the phone that you can't take back. Like, he's an idiot.
Yeah,
agreed.
Like, he should have had a criminal friend telling him, bro, you don't text nothing like that. Or
No.
Anybody could have told him. I mean, it's like over 50 years old.
Exactly.
He's not a rookie.
No.
Yeah, he's not a rookie. He should know better. Like, sometimes if I'm in an argument over the phone, I'll pick up the phone and call or something. Like, there's certain things I'm just never gonna text. Like, you just don't text that stuff.
Yeah.
And then you sitting on Shannon Sharpe, I think, made $22 million in the NFL. He made probably double that with his podcast, because his podcast is huge. He got some 6-figure check for one interview. Like, what are you doing? You don't have other resources you can go to get your freak booty stuff off? Like, that's crazy. Like, there's all kind of things you could have did. He's just too grown he should be smart enough to not be in this situation. It's ridiculous. From the woman's standpoint, you're gonna have women just like any other, even just like men that are gonna do anything for money. You got to be smart enough to spot those people and stay away from them. Like, if something makes money, she just made $23 million. This is gonna take off, and there's gonna be more and more victims of this kind of stuff. Not that Shannon Sharpe is a victim, but this is gonna happen a lot more. He's not a victim, but this is gonna happen a lot more. Like, it's just, you just got to know better.
Shannon Sharpe is not a victim. Yeah, he's not a victim. He's an official member of the creep squad. Okay, because he's a creep. Period.
How smart is he? This is a guy who tried to get in a fight with what's his name's father. This guy's about to fight the Memphis Grizzlies, yo.
Oh yeah.
Why is he a creep though?
Why is he a creep? He's just like you said. He's old enough to know better. Okay, you're dealing with a 18, 19, 20-year-old girl, and you're in your late 50s. Come on, man. Stop that nonsense. He is a bona fide 126% creep.
Yeah, he fell for the okie doke, but that little 18, 19-year-old girl is a WHORE. And somebody talk to her too. Like, she's out there, like, She's wild. I'm not making no excuses for what Shannon Sharpe did.
Right, but she's out there. She's out there, and again, it's on him to open his fucking eyes and see what it is. It is what it is. You can't. But instead, you want to go ahead and proceed with your nonsense. That's a bad look on him. So he is a creep. Yeah. I'm sorry.
He was too busy with that LeBron blanket over his eyes.
Damn, Dom, you stole that. I was just about to say that.
Damn. How many times did you hear him talk about that?
Wow.
Oh my God, man. I was just about to say that.
Wow.
Oh, man, guys.
Well,
years old, like I said last week about Shaq. Shaq, you 53 years old, still talking about punching somebody in the face. Really? Really?
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
But you know,
that's a little different.
But to
I'm just saying the maturity level, Craig. At that age, you would think that shit should just roll off your back, man.
No,
you want to punch somebody in their face because something they said?
I'm 53. I was gonna punch somebody in their face last week, so I can't go with that one. But it was about to go down.
But I'll say too. Just going back to Shannon Sharpe and the age, and a lot of these men is we're all 50 plus,
right?
And listen, what girl, 18, 19, 20-year-old, really wants somebody our age? You gotta understand what it is.
Speak for yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm speaking for myself. I'm speaking for myself. If I'm approached by somebody of that age,
right,
I can't be foolish enough to think that she thinks that there's a future, a mutually beneficial future for us, where she truly is interested in me that way. I can't be that dumb. Especially if I got money. Well, then right off the bat, I know what she's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember, Dave, R and I don't know about Ronan, but R and Craig single. So, you know, some 18-year-old run up on that 50-plus-year-old ass. They be like,
listen.
Nah, it's not going to happen. Hey, listen, I was in ATL. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I was in ATL recently. Okay. And they had some type of sorority thing that was going on. Yeah. And we was in the area. And it was like, it was like waves of just young women scantily clad and all that sort of shit and stuff. And I'm like, yo, I got to get the hell out of here. I can't be around it. I can't be around it.
ATL is different, though, because they don't have a lot to choose from down there.
That is true.
That's
It's skewed a little bit.
Yeah.
So, I couldn't be around that nonsense, dude. I was like, nah, get me the hell out. Because if I say something, I'm gonna be just for saying something. I'll probably be under the damn jail. Okay.
Not down
there. I don't know, man.
Fulton County, you wouldn't have
been. Trust me. You'll be fine as long as you have working parts. You'll be all right.
But the thing is, like everybody's saying this 18-year-old, you should know better. Let somebody give y'all $100 million and watch how many people come at you crazy. I've had these conversations with rich athletes like 18, 30, 35. It don't even matter. Look at Anthony Davis. He got a 40-year-old baby mother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His baby mother is 40. He's a kid, but nobody's going to get at her for doing what she did to him if she manipulated him in some kind of way, shape, or form.
Is that the one who's Drea? Drea has like
that's Green.
That's Green.
Okay.
Jalen Green.
Yeah. To be on
her son and him are the same age.
Yeah. Well, but I found out about her from reality TV again.
Of course. Let me take the time to welcome Steve to the show. Steve, thanks for joining. I know you always support. Appreciate you being here. I hope all is well, brother.
Yeah, just got back from dinner and wanted to pull up before I step back out. Okay. But I see the topic. Are we surprised? What's the point?
No, I was surprised though.
Are you surprised? I'm not really surprised by that, to be honest. I think it's well deserved.
No.
I don't know. He didn't give me those kind of vibes. Like, he's a weirdo, and I don't like some of his takes, but he didn't give me the vibe that he was going to get caught up in this situation with an 18-year-old girl from the internet, though. I I never thought nothing like that.
Well, Sheep ESPN wants to pretend to be this moral high ground. So that's the thing about the whole situation. They want to pretend like they're this moral high ground. They're way out there. They're far loonies. You know what I'm saying? So Shannon Sharpe is going to be more than fine. He's got his own platform. You know, I'm gonna keep it a buck because I know you guys do a lot of the talking of what the pundits say. I don't watch that shit, so I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? My whole bread and butter is talking about what happens on the court, field, and ring, and that's it. After that, I turn it off and I go to Dom. What's the movie recommendations? That's it.
Let me ask you a question. How much did that dude that owned Playboy that was 70 years old that was sleeping with 18-year-olds? How much creep talk did he get?
You know what?
Hugh Hefner?
Yeah.
Hugh Hefner, right? You talking about Hugh Hefner?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard some creep talk about him. Not a lot.
I don't.
Not as much as he should.
Later on, I heard it when he was damn near dead.
Later on, when it became popular to talk about,
right? When it became, a hashtag.
He was advertising sleeping with little girls and had like 20 of them living in his house at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, to like, if the moral compass is going to be issued, it needs to be fair and across the board. So, a lot of these people talking about Shannon Sharpe, he's a creep. That girl's 18, which by law isn't illegal and it's not pedophilia. Nobody said they weren't saying that about Hugh Hefner.
The issue more so is pick your poison in 2025. The issue is if you're going to be I don't like to use the word single. I like to use the word non-married or married, but legally with the state. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be single but have a whole roster full of chicks. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily mean you're single. I'm just saying you pick your poison. You can either go the married route and run it that way, where it's a 50% chance it's going to end up anyway, she's going to take half, or you go the Shannon Sharpe route and you can roll the dice that way and get burned like he did. So you got to be careful no matter which way you do it in the States.
Damn, Dave. We got to look over our shoulder, huh, Dave?
I know.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, Holla, what's up?
What's up,
Your mic is live
Holla?
as well, brother.
He came in like Morpheus. I didn't even know he was there. Just heard the voice.
What's going on?
I have a takeaway on this.
Okay, brother.
The thing that I think about is if I was to say I had Shannon Sharpe money or the rest of these dudes or P. Diddy money, the absolute last thing that would be on my mind on the pecking order is some freak off shit.
Yeah.
I would probably be helping people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't really have a lot of respect for these dudes. Because despite all of their money, it really doesn't benefit us at all. It benefits them, fine. I'm not for stopping somebody from doing what they do. If you want to invest the money, your hard-earned money in baby oil, hey, knock yourself out. All I'm saying is that ain't me.
Right.
If I had the same money they did, there would be a positive effect in the world. Because you can only get for so much stuff. Once you get your fixtures, what the hell do you need it for? You just piling up money for no reason so it can sit in an account. That's the reason why this society is messed up now. People have a limit on the amount of money that minimum wage people can make, but there's no maximum wage. You can just make money forever. No limit at all. And you see the damage that it's doing to society. So, like, that's my takeaway. It's like, I don't really have a lot of respect for these dudes. I really don't.
But to Holland's point, this is what I was saying about money. That's not, if Hollop came into a lot of money, it's not going to change who he is. He has that type of mentality, as we have, the mentality also. So it's not like Hollop would suddenly go down to ATL and have a freak on. He would be putting it into. We know Hollop's resume. We know what his agenda is, and the money would only enhance that. And so a lot of these dudes that are going out there and doing all that stuff, well, you had it in you anyway. This is for me personally. That's not my interest.
This is why I got to be real quick, Dom. This is why Derek Jeter is the on the field GOAT and off the field GOAT.
Yep,
exactly.
Yeah,
because he played it perfectly, and he did it with a lot of B-list Hollywood stars. Repetitive names. You know what I'm saying? So It really comes down. Look at Dwight Howard, Arjun. I know he's not the top, but he just got married and got divorced a month later, or whatever it was. It really quick.
Quick, exactly.
4 months.
Exactly,
So
bro.
like I said, it doesn't matter if you're married or non-married. You just gotta be careful.
That's it.
See, but to Steve's point, which will bring us to the last topic, Derek Jeter had somebody that pulled his coat and said, "Hey, time out. Let's get this shit back in order." But he took the advice.
That's the point. A lot of people get their coats pulled. They don't listen.
And again, not to go further, but when we get there to that last subject, we've all saw it. We've all tried it. We've all heard it. And Derek Jeter was that one guy that I know of, because I'm a Yankee fan. That again, Steinbrenner was like, remember I don't know if y'all are old enough to remember or follow when he was doing that club shit. Yeah. And the gambling and the card playing. And Steinbrenner said,
time out.
You know, first of all, you can't represent this organization like that.
Exactly.
Remember when Steinbrenner was in charge of the Yankees, we were the Yankees. You know, it was all about the pinstripe pride. But again, he listened to the coat being pulled. Nowadays, Dave, you try this shit, they be like, you old ass bastard.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit,
exactly.
That brings me to another thing. Do these guys have a mother and sisters and female cousins and stuff? Why don't you vet these girls? Because women will know when a woman is full of shit.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah. They don't
like, don't these guys have like female family members that they can vet these women through?
No. They don't listen.
No.
He wasn't trying to have a relationship.
But
he wasn't trying to have a relationship with that woman. He was trying to be. I mean, let me just say this. First of all, Derek Jeter is an anomaly. So if we want to make him the example that everybody's going to follow, that's unrealistic. Second, the Yankees, yes, they had the pinstripes and all this other stuff. They was the second to last team to integrate. You couldn't wear no facial hair. They had all them rules, and that's cool. But until you get $300 million landed in your lap, especially if you come from an impoverished area, me personally, no disrespect to anybody on here, I don't want to hear what you would or wouldn't do. Because when you walk around with $300 million, and I've been around people that kind of money, there's all kind of opportunities that open up that you don't have now. So, of course, you never fathom having that money and those things come at you. But I've seen it in real time, and temptation is real. Like, whatever your standards are, I mean, I respect those and all of that stuff. But until that's landed in your lap, especially as a young man, even though he's not young, and you grew up in that life, and you end up being like one of y'all, you're a school teacher, right? Isn't one of you a school teacher working in school?
Yeah, I work in a high school. Yeah.
So I'm sure as a
35 years
that works in a high school, you know a lot of people that work in a high school.
Yep.
So when you start going to the NFL, you know a lot of people in the NFL, and a lot of that demographic are doing these very similar things. So your life kind of changes, and I've seen it happen a multitude of times, and you know it's unfortunate, but I don't blame a man for what he does behind with his money or what he does behind closed doors, as long as it's consensual. So, you know, I mean, there's a lot of focus on Shannon Sharpe, as there should be, but there need to be more focus on some of these women too. Because if that was my daughter, she'd have 2 railroad tracks around both her eyes. So, you know what I'm saying? Like we can punish Shannon Sharpe all we want, but it needs to be on both sides. A lot of these women have no respect for themselves, and far too many of them are doing things to get money, and it's sad. And you can't jump at that, but Shannon Sharpe did that 100 other
football
times.
Players.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I say you got to be careful. I mean, Derek Jeter is not necessarily an anomaly. When he had A-Rod on his team, he was going through some bullshit with J-Lo. He was his teammate. So you got to be careful. The whole point, I'm backing what you're saying. Just be careful.
Right.
Be careful.
Money doesn't change you. Money only enhances what the fuck you are.
Thank you.
That's what I was saying. That was my point.
With football players, like even when I was playing semi-pro, and then when I went to the camp. Now this is just me. Now me and Hollop, we talked about this a lot. You know, Hollop's crew, him, Mackinum, and my crew. We didn't see each other, but we hung out at the same nightclubs in New York City. So we all did in New York. You know, so when I was playing football, and I wasn't with my normal crew I normally hang with, I would hang out with the guys a few times I played football with. Now, this is semi-pro, and even at the camp. This is just my personal, what I saw. A lot of these dudes, to me, are corny. You know, if you how are
Travis
Dom,
Hunter.
y'all all grew up in New York City.
Mhm.
So I did the whole I grew up, Jersey. In the 90s, New York nightlife, going to nightclubs. I seen rappers, I seen NBA players, stuff like that. I've been around these football players, even playing semi-pro. These dudes act like they was in the NFL. These guys I played with on teams where come to practice, they bring their wife, they bring their kids, and then we go play Orange County, New York, and these cats like, oh, I'm about to bounce, and then go off and meet some girl that they knew up there in Orange County, and then practice next week. He introduced me to his wife, stuff like that. And me personally, I'm like, yo, I can't rock with this dude, yo. You got a wife, you got kids, man. And then the way they would act when they out in the club, I would hang out with these dudes, and then they would act like, they try to kick it to someone. Girls say no, and then it becomes this whole thing. Oh, you be blah blah blah, this and that. I'm like, I can't rock with this. That's not how I flow.
Right.
And they don't have no discipline as far as that. I knew that. All right, if I had a game on Saturday, all right, Friday night, I'm going out. I'm going out. I know. All right, instead of me coming home at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll be home at 4. And then get ready for the game and stuff like that, man. A lot of these dudes, they don't have that discipline. They can't say no. I've been in plenty of nightclubs, and I've seen dudes do dumb shit on a regular basis, nonstop, over and over again, and they keep like, yo, man, I got this. I'm like, yo, what you don't? Have you ever heard no? Or do you ever hear that voice in your head saying maybe I shouldn't do this?
No.
No.
So they don't. So Shannon Sharpe, do I have sympathy for him? No, I don't have sympathy for him. He's a 50-some-odd-year-old man. I mean, him, Gilbert Arenas, I don't have no sympathy for these dudes because they don't, somewhere deep inside, they know that what you doing, maybe I shouldn't do this. But you know what? That money gives them, they think that, oh, I'm above this, I'm above that, and I can't be touched. And guess what? You got touched. And he got took into the cleaners by a 19-year-old girl, which makes him look even stupider than he already is in the first place.
He paid an OnlyFans model. He paid an OnlyFans model $23 million.
You're not wrong on the one-off with Shannon Sharpe and these goofy athletes, but I can put it the other way around. Like Tom Brady, he had a marriage and his chick fuck the pool boy. It's across the board, gentlemen. I don't care how y'all want to make it these one-offs. Like you got, it's a free throw out here, man. Married or not, it don't matter. You could be fucking Tom Brady and still lose out because your chick says, I'm not happy. I want to fuck the gym dude, fuck the pool boy. That's the game we're on in 2025. What are we talking about?
This dude paid an OnlyFans model $23 million. I couldn't go to sleep at night.
And she retired.
$23 million.
She retired. She's retired.
Being a scumbag is not the natural progression for money. You was a scumbag before you got the money.
Well, what about Michael Jeffrey Jordan? He had the biggest divorce settlement at his time, 2002, when Juanita divorced him? I mean, you can't really fucking win, man. It's a gamble no matter how you play this shit. We could go through the list. We're only saying that the guys we're familiar with because these are guys that we're familiar with because they're athletes. But this is happening to regular dudes all the time.
But wait, I think we're conflating things. Are we saying that P. Diddy is the same as a guy who got a divorce because he was with some gold digger?
The only difference is the money level.
Is that the same thing?
The same effect at the end of the day.
The
only difference is the level of the money. It can happen to the dude who's on child support. The chick is better, she's gonna throw him in the system. You know what I'm saying?
That's the same thing, y'all.
Yes, it is. It is because she's extracting.
How is that? I want y'all to explain that.
It may not be $100 million, but the fucking effect is still the same, no matter how you spin it.
So hold on. So before we go further with that, the Tom Brady analogy. So for the pool boy, that was his come up, not the wife.
Who's come up?
The pool boy. If he's knocking off Tom Brady's wife, that's a come up for him, not for her.
I'm not talking about that. Well, not from his angle, not the pool boy's angle. I'm talking about Tom Brady's supposed to be this GOAT quarterback, squeaky clean image. Mr. Patriot, and he can't even keep his supermodel wife happy. What are we talking?
Yeah, but that's not a reflection on Tom Brady.
That has nothing.
Her.
No, I'm talking about the culture.
Those are two completely separate things to me. There's a big difference between
$10, $100, $100 million. These chicks are going to find a way to get out. Is the point?
We're talking. But yeah. Okay, I get that they will, if they're looking for an out, they will find it out. But I'm talking about people that are looking. But I'm talking about people that are looking for an in.
Yeah,
that's the difference. If they're going to the athlete, the $100 million athlete, or whoever it is, they're looking for a way in.
I'm not arguing that.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the dudes already in this situation. I'm not talking about. I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying the dudes are in the situation, whether they're married or not married. You're getting fucked no matter what. How you look at it, whether you're a dude who's a low-level dude, baby mama got you running up in course, or you're $100 million dude. It's the same effect.
Okay, so the only difference is
the
why? So
I'm not putting the emphasis on the dollars. I'm putting the emphasis on the effect.
So why did Juanita Jordan leave?
Great question.
Probably.
We're talking about two completely different things.
Because she didn't.
We're conflating things right now.
She didn't leave because she thought Jordan's money was running out. He made even more money after he retired.
It was probably on his end. It was probably
some infidelity.
Right. Because
here's my only take on this. In the year 2025, if you're Shannon Sharpe getting taken and hoodwinked like this in 2025, then something's wrong with you. Serious. Because you've seen this movie 100 million times.
Didn't he just have Cat Williams on there? Did he listen to any of it?
Cat Williams.
Yeah, exactly, Steve. But I'm saying, guys, in 2025, this has happened probably 10 to 15 times this year.
Stupid is as stupid does.
But he's a
goofy nigga, man. Let's just say what it is. He's a goofy nigga.
Yeah, he's out there. These dudes got platforms. They're doing all this stuff. Tom Brady doesn't. He didn't have a show. He didn't have a podcast. So Michael Jordan, he didn't have a podcast. They weren't on ESPN doing shows. These dudes are on shows. He's on ESPN. Gilbert Arenas showing up on ESPN. He's got his goofy podcast with his stupid takes and all that nonsense. I mean, Michael Jordan is pretty low key for the most part. I mean, up until the Last Dance, no one even know what this guy was doing. Maybe if you follow NASCAR. I didn't really see Tom Brady really do anything until after he retired, when he started calling football games and stuff like that.
That's the point. They all got
but the thing is that it wasn't. But no one was talking about it because it wasn't really. No one really paid attention to it. Shannon Sharpe is right out there. He's always out there. If he ain't trying to fight T. Morant or the Grizzlies, or he's doing this or doing. He's constantly out there. Gilbert's always out there. They're always out there doing something. The other dudes are not. Derek, my friend used to work at a hotel where this guy used to show up at, man. Where Derek, he came there, was like no cameras. He did his thing. My friend worked security at the Waldorf Astoria. They dudes would come there. The Yankees would come there. He used to tell me, man. He was like, look. You roll with Jeter. Jeter did his thing, but no cameras. You couldn't take pictures. No pictures. He'd sign you an autograph. He would not allow you to take a selfie because he would have been with Minka Kelly or some other person. So I have to commend him. Like, hey.
That's what I
said. Michael Jordan was too busy messing up the Charlotte Hornets.
When Derek Jeter threw parties at his house, they used to have security there, and they would take your phone and frisk you down for any electronic stuff.
Yeah.
I think so. The only difference between Derek Jeter is that he didn't get caught. He was smart about it. They're all doing the same thing.
That's but you said the word right there. Smart about it. We're not saying that men aren't doing stuff. Men have been doing stuff for centuries.
And
but
so have
women too.
Right? Yes, absolutely, because it takes two to tango with this, and they understand the game of it. But if you're out there getting fleeced, and you put yourself in this position to get fleeced, that's a big difference than somebody just getting taken advantage of and they didn't see it coming. So let me give you this example. Back in the day, 42nd Street was not Disney, 42nd Street was a much different place. If I had if I had $50 in my pocket and I'm out in 42nd Street and some dudes corner me and rob me, that's not the same as if I stopped at a card table and put $50 down in a clear scam and I got. Did I go to 42nd Street and lose $50? Yes, but on one occasion, I'm minding my business and I'm just a victim of a bad circumstance. On another occasion, I put myself in that. And ain't nobody going to feel sorry for me if I tell them, oh, I got on the card game on 42nd Street. And I think that's what the difference is. We're comparing, everybody can get got. According to what you're saying, everybody can get got. But I'm talking about if you put yourself knowingly, and it's not like there's no evidence around you to show that these things happen. If I'm a celebrity, a ball player, I got a lot of money, and I go into a club and a woman approaches me, my antennas are got to be up.
Got to be.
It should have been up before you went to the club.
Not, right. They already knew I was coming. So I can't then act as if somehow I'm this victim. I put myself in that position.
All I want to
you going to 42nd Street and getting got is an assault. That's illegal. They're not supposed to do that. Everything we've been saying to that is within the law. But
the sentiment is still the same. You were comparing people who got married and divorced. That happens. Right. But that's not the same as some 50-year-old man going out with a teenager and then wondering why she just retired from OnlyFans off of your dollar. There's a difference.
Yeah, hold on.
I don't have no sympathy for him. I'm just saying, whether you're married or not married, I think you guys are looking at it as these celebrities, how much money they got. I don't care if this the dude on the like I said, dudes are targets, whether on the low level, you ain't making shit, $1, $10, $100,
right.
100 million. It's still all the fucking
Listen. I work for the
no matter how you want to spend it.
I work for the city of New York, so I don't make a lot of money. But if it's the 1st or the 15th, and I'm walking around there and somewhere where they're also going to cash their welfare check, and some girl pulls up on me, knowing that I work for the city.
Yeah.
I gotta have my eyes open. If I was a single guy,
of course.
Yeah. So I'm just go ahead.
Hold on. Go ahead, Holland. What's up?
Yeah, I was talking with Larry, and I told him this is my philosophy. I'm not for legislating how a person does what they do. You get your money, you do what you want to do with it. You want to buy baby oil, you want to engage in freak off party. You can do all of that you want to. My thing is this. Don't ask me to respect you. You're not getting my fucking respect. Fuck you.
Yeah.
So just like you can do what you want to do, fine. And I'm not stopping you from doing it. But don't come around like, oh, this person is a rich person. They got this, and I don't give a fuck. You a piece of shit.
So I got a question for everybody. So how long is it before Leonardo DiCaprio is on the clock?
Leonardo DiCaprio is only dealing with women of age. See, can I say something about that?
18 is age.
This whole thing about this age gap is a bunch of bullshit to me.
And why is that, sir?
Because if you're old enough to go to war and get killed, and you're old enough to go to jail if you commit a crime, then you're not old enough to date.
Right.
Agreed.
So either we're gonna raise the legal age to this age that everybody thinks where you become an adult. So what's that gonna be? 25? Are we gonna raise it to that? Because if you're keeping it at 18, you're being a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
You can't say, oh, you can get a license, you can drink, you can do all this stuff, but oh God, you can't date somebody that's older than you. Get the fuck out of here.
Man, listen here. If what you just been saying, child support in New York is how old if they go into school? 20 what?
18, right?
No, if they go into school, it's still it goes into the 20s.
Oh, okay.
Well into the 20s.
Okay, I've never been in that situation, so I don't know.
Well, don't. But anyway.
Well, I should hope not by now.
Don't.
Yes.
Don't. But I
I'd
mean,
be paying child
to
support
Hollis'
with
point, you 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
Hypocrites.
Yeah.
Yo, but
yes,
what
sir.
was this dude thinking, man?
He wasn't.
He
Well,
wasn't.
maybe he was, but he just made a bad decision. He made a bad decision. You know what I'm saying? He should have known. He should have known better, and I'm gonna stand by that. As a man over 50, you should know better. And he chose he made the wrong decision. And now he's paying for it. $23 million. $23 million.
I could not go to sleep. I could not go to sleep at night knowing
I'm sure
got $23 million.
I just want.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
What happened, John?
He went on mute.
Oh, I think you're
dropped off. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, he made a bad decision.
You know,
and it cost him $23 million.
Well, I don't have $23 million, so I ain't even worried about it.
Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with me, so that he can hold that L.
Yeah.
I know. I was just curious.
Yeah, Dom.
Who was the safety NCO when R laid that pistol on the counter?
Oh man, yo, get out of here, man. Let me move on.
Oh wow.
That's my first time firing a weapon in decades, bro. So I ain't trying to hear that right now. Let me move on. Let's get off.
I said, look at Sonny Six Killer.
Let's get off
Nobody on the lawn is safe.
Nope.
Whatever. Anyway, leave me alone. Let's get on. Let's move on to the next.
Wait,
topic.
what did I miss? What did you do?
You know, I listen. They'll tell you that I didn't place the gun the right way and whatnot, where people were safe and whatnot. So I messed up the first time. I admit that. But after that, I was good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I can speak for him. He had good gun etiquette at the
Thank you. After that first one, that was it, man.
That first one, he put it down like it was a hot potato.
Whatever, man.
Let me get this out of my hand quick.
Did you like my SIG?
The SIG, oh my God, the SIG was on fire. That weapon, I loved it, and with the
red dot,
the red dot, man,
man,
I was firing that weapon off. I fell in love with that. Next time I'm down there, man, that's what I got to get.
I told next time open his eyes when he shoots.
I was in the he's got. Anyway,
but why you didn't show us the sheet? That's what we wanted to see.
That's what we wanted.
We wanted to see how badly you missed.
Listen, I got my boy Mr. Holla. He'll vouch for me. I did very well. Thank you very much.
You did. I'm surprised we didn't take a picture of the sheet.
Exactly. But I did well.
That's the purpose of doing it.
For those inquiring minds that want to know, I did quite well. Thank you. Again, a guy that hasn't fired off a weapon in decades. So I did pretty damn good.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Thank you very much, sir.
Congratulations, Killer.
Yeah, now get off my back.
I still got my money on Dom. Get off
my back.
Hey, R gave me flashbacks when I saw that rifle. I was like, oh shit. Look at this mother.
Listen, let me move on.
All right.
Let me go to another topic here. In the lane of Major League, today was the trade deadline. The New York Yankees and New York Mets addressed their needs during this trade deadline. Since we have Met fans on and Yankee fans on, this ought to be interesting. First off, let's start with the Mets. We're going to give Shamik and David a chance to answer if the question. Did they address their needs? I've seen a lot of moves they made. That's for sure.
Yeah, we addressed them. We got Mullins in center field.
Yep.
We got relievers, but my thing has always been relievers only matter if you win it in the seventh inning. So
right.
We'll see how that goes. So the biggest need that we had was starting pitching, because if you're not winning the seventh inning, your relievers have a day off. So the starting market was too expensive, for what they were asking. We might have our answer to the starters in our minor league with Tom and that dude Sprout, but we'll see. We have to bring them up and play them. So for the most part, I can't be mad. We didn't give up the farm. We got solid relievers. We got like 3 or 4. The Yankees did too. They did good too. But we fixed the bullpen, and now it's just a waiting game. The problem is, even with those additions, we're not better than Philly, we're not better than the Dodgers, and we're not better than San Diego, who made some very impressive.
They made both too.
And they already have starting pitching.
Yeah,
so
and
they got their bullpens together and have. The Dodgers gave up a starting pitcher to get better. That's how many resources they have. So we'll see what happens. Come October, anything can happen. So just like last year, you catch lightning in a bottle in the playoffs. Any team can win the World Series. So we'll see though. But I'm impressed with what they did. I think they did all that they could do.
Yeah. I think I agree with that, and also I think what impressed me the most is that it doesn't appear that they got fleeced. And so
you don't think they gave up too much for Tyler Rogers?
I don't think no. And with minor leaguers, it's hit or miss.
Yeah. Okay.
And those are the type of things that you may not know until 4 or 5 years down the road, and they say, "Oh, he was a product of the Mets," farm team. But if they win today, then that was the purpose of what this was. This wasn't about 4 or 5 years down the road. Not when you're looking at contention. If you're rebuilding, then you're talking about those kind of things. So the Mets in the past have been victims of that, where they overpay and they clearly are on the short end of the stick with a lot of these deals. And this was, to me, they addressed their needs, and they didn't. I don't think that they overpaid. What happens 4 or 5 years down the road, there's a lot of other variables that take place. So I'm not going to look at that and say today on the 31st of July, 2025, that they gave up too much. I don't see it.
I mean, but if you think about it, we traded Drew Gilbert, which is why they're saying we got fleeced. In the next 5 years, you bring Drew Gilbert up. Where does he play?
You're right.
Exactly. So that's another reason why I wouldn't have been mad at trading Beatty, Vientos, Acuna, or any comment. I like Mauricio. I want to keep him because at the end of the day, you got a center fielder, so McNeil's going to play second.
Right.
So now you got a log jam. Vientos can't play third defensively. So if you get rid of him and you got Mauricio, who's only getting better and hitting home runs and is showing power, what do you lose in that? So people are saying, "Oh, Drew Gilbert, that was too much. He's a top prospect." But if we brought him up within now or the next 5 years, he has no position to play because the people in front of him are studs.
Right.
So we didn't really lose, regardless of what he does somewhere else. We didn't lose because he'd have been in the farm system forever and probably would have got traded eventually anyway. So why not trade now and try to go for it while we got Lindor and Soto in their primes and Polar Bear? So I don't think we got fleeced, and we got a stud. That kid is a stud top reliever. Like, you don't get fleeced when you get talent.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Because the people talking like there was some naysayers like, well, we paid too much.
There's always going to be that.
Yeah, there's always going to be that.
The people saying that, talking about Drew Gilbert, not realizing in the last year he's done nothing but decline. So those people are going off a name they heard.
They're going off name.
They're going off prospect number and saying all this. But real Met fans that follow the minor leaguers and want to know how to develop and know that Drew Gilbert's been falling off, and they know he has no position to play because either Polar Bear or Vlad Guerrero is going to be at first. The infield is set. He doesn't play, like, he has nowhere to go.
Well, Guerrero's locked up though.
Yeah. He is.
Trade for him. All these players got to do is throw a tantrum and demand to be traded.
Well, that's true. That is true. But
but it's not as petty as the NBA.
But to the point before we get off the Mets, the naysayers are going to be on both sides, because had they not done anything, then you're going to have an equal amount of people saying, "Oh, well, we didn't. Our bullpen still this. We don't have a center field. All these things." So I say they made moves, and I don't see them as getting taken to the cleaners either, which has been the past, because there's been a lot of push for them to make moves in the past, and they just listened to the fans, and then wound up getting stuck with some stupid contracts and players who were aging and ineffective. So I'll say it's good. And that Mullins defense up the middle.
Yeah, he was a former All-Star.
If
I'm not mistaken.
Well, Mullins got 15 home runs and like 40 and quite a few stolen bases this year too. So he's a Gold Glove, borderline Gold Glove center fielder. That shores up your number 7 hitting spot, which has been atrocious for us. He puts Tyrone Taylor on the bench where he needs to be because he couldn't hit a soccer ball. And then they talking about we got fleeced. We got rid of Buto and this other reliever. They've been rocked. They last.
Oh gosh, I'm so Buto.
Like how we get fleeced because we gave up 2 bums.
Let me tell you something about Buto before we go. I'm in year 2029 of MLB The Show, and I'm still trying to get rid of Buto.
Exactly. Exactly. How we got a known commodity that has been top tier in baseball for 3 years for two guys that blow leads and a potential in Drew Gilbert that can't get on the field with the Mets based on our current roster the way it's set up for the next 5 years. We made a smart deal. I'm mad we didn't get rid of Vientos Abadi for another top tier starting pitcher, but I assume the asking price was too much. And you got to remember this too. Miami is got to be the dumbest organization in the world. They should have traded that starting pitcher no matter what they were giving up, but they didn't. The White Sox asked for Tong, our number one starting pitcher. That was out of the question. Yeah. So it's not like this Stern dude isn't trying to do stuff, but some deals can't be made, especially with organizations like the White Sox and Miami that are just poorly run. So the people we wanted to get, we couldn't because of that reason. Dylan Cease, I think, didn't get traded either. That don't make no sense.
Right.
Yeah, that don't make no sense. And you know, if we're offering, if you tell me that we couldn't offer Vientos and Beatty for that, or Vientos and Acuna and get him, that's crazy. If they asked him more than that, then he was right by not doing it. Because you don't want to overpay no matter what your need is.
That's right.
This is true. Very true. Now let's go to cross town to the other side, Sir Dominic. Oh, what? You don't want to go to the cross? You don't want to go to the other side?
You know what? We had this conversation last week, so I guess they heard us.
Yeah.
And they got a shortstop. Hopefully,
yes, they did.
He's versatile. He could play more than just shortstop. They got a third baseman because the third baseman was the opposite of Volpe. He could field, but he couldn't hit. So, and they got an all-star reliever to shore up which already was a good bullpen. So, and not just as a Yankee fan, I think when the Yankees get healthy, Stanton is back. You get a little pop at shortstop, a little better defense, a little pop at third. You still got Jazz. You still got. I think the Yankees are still the odds-on favorite to win the American League.
Are you gonna? You said about the pop at coming from the shortstop position, and this guy that they just acquired or whatnot. So, what are we giving up on Volpe? I don't
That's
think
what I said. It's funny we mentioned this last week.
Exactly. Remember? I don't think he can give up. I mean, this dude that they got, he's much better. He's solid defensively. I believe he leads or is tied for the league in stolen bases as well.
Right, 35 stolen bases. Yeah,
right.
But here's the thing: they didn't give up Volpe though.
No, they didn't.
They still have him. What did we say last week? 24 years old.
Right, 24.
You know, sometimes you need a good swift kick in your ass.
Well,
in the way of Dave coming in to take my job. I mean, the guy that they got, guy's a better defensive player.
Yeah.
It ain't
offensively,
like he's 350.
Exactly,
yeah, come on.
Exactly. Offensively, he's not doing all that well. I think he's like maybe 230, something like that.
But we couldn't have it both ways. We couldn't have our third base position, which has been fluctuating since DJ LeMahieu got hurt 200 years ago.
Right.
So you shored up that, but then again, he don't have a lot of offensive pop. But you got defense over offense and offense over defense. So they flip-flop things. They shored up their bullpen. They got an all-star reliever to go with a pretty good bullpen. But to Craig's point, if you're losing in the 6th, 7th inning, that bullpen don't mean shit.
Yeah.
But again, I just think the Yankees, they're bound to hit a stride. They've had an up and down season. So
yes,
I still believe they're going to win the American League. I don't see nobody that's heading. It's not like the National League. You know, the Mets, not to knock the Mets, but the Mets got too many other obstacles to climb over. And that's considering a hurt Atlanta Braves team who've been up and down all year. But, you know, it seems like the state of California is stacking the deck. But I will say this, guys, in closing. This is why I love baseball, because they made more trades before 6 o'clock today than the NBA's made a trade deadline in the last 5 years. And you don't hear nothing in Major League Baseball about, Dave's going to San Diego or San Antonio. You don't hear nothing in MLB. You'll hear a couple of rumors, but then all of a sudden, all this shit happens and everybody's like, again, last week we talked about Volpe. The Yankees go get a shortstop. I'm not giving up on the kid. He's too young. I mean,
he's way too young. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. Again, I don't work for the Yankees. I don't know their patience level. But that
you know what,
said,
Dom? Here's the funny thing too. It just hit me right now. You know, they talking about wanting to give up on Volpe and whatnot. Realize, and I told about this last week. The guy has won a Gold Glove.
Yeah.
For Christ's sakes. and he's got pop in the bat. I just think he's going through some things now. The pressure perhaps with the fans. Listen, this guy's gonna be all right. Am I saying he's gonna be a superstar? Absolutely not.
Right.
But I'm thinking he's gonna be a serviceable shortstop for the Yankees for a few years. You understand? For several years.
Just like last week, guys, we mentioned we as Yankee fans. I'm not saying we never want to lower our standards, but our standards of what we had as shortstop to what we had after that. Okay, you know, we got to learn to live with that. I mean, it's just that simple. You know, Jeters and A-Rods and Garcia Parros and Ozzie
they need
Smith,
to get past that. The fans,
right? They don't come around. They don't come around every 6 months. I
exactly.
mean,
We're spoiled. Yankee fans are spoiled or whatnot. You got after the Jeter effect. You brand this kid. Oh, the next Jeter. That's totally unfair. That's not right. Let him be who he is and play, and that's
it. Like you said, 2 years ago, he won the Gold Glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they might be having nightmares because of what happened to LeMahieu, because you couldn't tell me he wasn't a stud before he signed that contract. He was batting 300.
Right.
Yeah, but so, he was often he was injured too much, and he went out. He went down fast, guys.
He went
I
down
don't think nobody expected that to happen to DJ LeMahieu.
No,
he went left and never came back. Let's be honest. The Yankees gave him 2.
The
Yankees gave him 2 years, man.
Okay.
No. Yeah. I think like I said, when he went left, it's like he just kept going left. And the injury bug, and I mean, God bless him. He gave us what he had, but
he did.
Yeah.
He provided some moments.
Yeah, you know, come on. Definitely. We can't totally throw him under the bus. Shit happens.
No, exactly.
You know, he never recovered, and
that was it.
Yeah, but you got to move on. So they went and got a third baseman. Because like I said last year, guys, Jazz cannot play third base.
No.
He is not a third baseman. Don't get it twisted. He filled in admirably.
Yes, he did.
But he's not a third baseman. So if you had a good third baseman, not expecting Volpe to be the total opposite of a Gold Glove winner, you had a pretty good infield.
Exactly.
It just sometimes, you know, shit don't work out the way you think it is. It's baseball. You know, it's any sport, really.
Exactly. Should happen.
But I still think they will win the American League. And
you don't think the Toronto Blue Jays will keep up at this pace? They went. I know the last 10 games they're 5-5. Like the Yankees, they've been 5-5 the last 10 games. Yankees won 3 in a row to pull within 3.5 out of first place.
I told my son, I said, maybe I'm a jinx. You know, I'm home too much and I have time to watch all these games, and I didn't watch the last 3 games, and they got a 3-game winning streak. Ain't that some shit? So maybe I should just say, hey, you know what?
I'm not watching.
MLB League Pass was pretty affordable through Amazon this year.
Right.
So maybe I could just chill out for a minute and see what happens.
We fall back. Yeah, I hear you.
I want to know what they're going to do with NBA League Pass next year when Amazon takes over. Hopefully they keep them prices down.
We'll see. We'll see. That's coming up.
As long as my stock go up.
Yeah, I'm just tired of getting robbed for some bullshit.
Like I said, I heard that. Oh, man. Well, let's move on, shall we? Let's go to the land of CTE and New York City and active shooters and all that good stuff. This just recently happened on Monday, Monday evening around 6:30 p.m. I got some questions, to say honestly. I mean, this whole thing, let me just say this, get this off my chest real quick. The first thing I want to talk about is the photos that were circulating around of the shooter. There's one in particular in the background. I don't know if you can see it in all pictures, but the one I saw, there's 2 guys that are unaware of this guy carrying an M4 semi-automatic weapon to this building. And I understand that the guy got out of a double parked car. Dave, I think you brought that to my attention if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I'm just bothered by this, to be honestly. The guy came from Las Vegas. He was coming to target the NFL due to an issue he felt he had, CTE, in which he played high school football. And now Ronan and I was talking about this before we went live and whatnot. And I'm like, can you really just get CTE from being in high school football? Why not?
Yes.
Why not? Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a physical sport. Why the hell not? You should. Yeah, you're not clear of it. No. So
Yeah.
again, he had this on his mind, and I even brought this up, Dave. I think you inspired me on this one, Dave, as well.
Mm.
They're branding this guy a lunatic, a maniac, all the vernaculars. Okay. I don't know. When he decided to take his life, and he didn't shoot himself in the head, which
Right.
you know what I'm saying, which a lot of people do when they take their life. He chose to shoot himself in the chest.
Right.
Because he wanted his brain to be examined for CTE.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it like this, but how bad could he have been? That sounds horrible because I know he shot 5 people and he killed 4 of them. But again, it's just a really messed up situation, man. It's just really totally screwed up, you know?
Did he kill random people, or what was it specific?
Well, here's the thing. He went to the wrong floor as well. Because he was trying to get to NFL offices.
Yeah.
He wound up going to the management, and I think maybe even Blackstone, which is another corporate law firm. And he wound up going there and shooting those people. Because I think he got off on the 33rd floor, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, 33rd
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say most of them were random. Shit, he shot a cop. I mean,
yeah.
Well,
he shot the cop in the lobby.
All right, what is the question that you're asking?
Actually, I wasn't even asking a question. I was just getting some thoughts, some insights on the situation. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that he definitely had, a plan. He drove all the way from Las Vegas.
2 days.
Yeah, and he went there to the NFL office, the building that houses the NFL office.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he entered there was a uniformed cop who was, off duty but working security. So I guess he figured, well, I take him out right away, or else, I just wasted gas. And so then he goes to, there was another security guard who allegedly was trying to shut down the elevators.
So really?
Yeah, there was another guard that he killed. That the Etienne brother. He was trying to get to I guess there's a
fire command station.
That was shut down the elevators because he knew that this guy was trying to get upstairs. But he got shot and killed.
He got shot and killed.
So then when he gets on the elevator, I guess, not knowing the building, there's a specific elevator bank that you have to take. And if you don't know, you could take the wrong elevator bank. And so he wound up going up to the 33rd floor instead of the floors where the NFL offices are on. So then when he comes out of there, then I think he killed the young woman who was, I think she was trying to duck for cover, and another person up there before ultimately taking his life. So there were some. He did have a plan. So the CTE, I don't know anything about CTE, but your brain is damaged, but it doesn't mean that certain aspects of your brain don't work properly. There's other things. So he definitely had a plan and an intention, according to what everything is pointing to, that he said, look, this is my situation, and please study my brain. And that's why I believe that's why he shot himself in the chest rather than the head.
If you take CTE out of it and everything he did leading up to that would be premeditated murder.
Yes.
Because he planned it.
Yeah.
He drove 2 days.
Yes, he did.
Knew exactly where he was. He knew exactly where he was going.
Yep.
He had a weapon that was of mass destruction.
Right.
So I'm not. Trust me, I am not no kind of way, no law enforcement individual. But I'm just saying, his whole manifesto was from A to B. He had a mission, and he was on a mission, and he wasn't going to be stopped because he shot 5 people.
Yeah.
He just never completed the mission.
No,
and then shoots himself in the chest and leaves a note about CTE. And again, we had this conversation before you guys came on. How many of us might have CTE? How many of us done? I know I did. I banged my head numerous times. Hitting trees and all this other shit.
You can get CTE riding on the subway.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the thing with CTE, and he knew this too, because he left a note. That's why he shot himself in his chest, so you could examine his brain. So again, everything was sort of coordinated.
Do you think
he just hit a snafu?
But do you think the mission was not accomplished?
No, because he never got to go where he was. He got the attention about CTE.
I think
that's
the outcome,
what he was going for.
Right. I think the outcome is still the outcome that he was ultimately looking for, is that he would draw attention to this. It's just that he probably had the motivation of saying, well, to hit harder is that I'm going to go right at the NFL and take out some of theirs before taking out myself. But I think that he never expected to walk out of that building.
No. He had the letter. He had a letter.
Yeah.
He shot himself in the chest, not the head.
Right.
So again, all of this was, I don't know what was going on in his head, guys. I'm just trying to track from Las Vegas to New York City. Yeah. There was a plan. There was gas. There was a letter. There was a note. He shot himself in the chest. I mean, if you really wanted to go, if he really wanted to go out like a gunslinger, for example, then he'd have gotten into a firefight, and then he wouldn't have knew if he would have got shot in his head.
Right.
So you're right, Dave. I guess at the end of the day, it was semi-mission complete, except he never got to the NFL.
Right.
You know what?
I have a question.
Okay, sir. Go ahead.
How much about CTE do we actually know?
That's the problem, Hal.
Very little.
Because you know what makes me ask that? I was thinking about the Chris Benoit situation.
Okay.
And this dude, what he did in his last act was so out of character for most of his life. And I'm like, is that what CTE does? Does it change your brain in a way that it just changes who you are? That would make you do something like that? Like I really don't understand it.
I mean, we look at I think Lyle Alzado.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look at that situation or whatnot.
What was the good say out? That's the one I was trying to say
out.
Yes, sir.
You gotta also factor this in, Hollop. These guys that are going through this, now they're going through it, and some of them are getting so drugged up from trying to, maybe mask the pain, hide the pain, alleviate the pain, whatever the case may be. And of course, somebody's writing them these prescriptions because they feel for them. Oh, you know what? Hollop had 10 concussions in 2 years. He needs some sort of help, because you just can't go and open up somebody's head.
Right.
And there's like some standard operational procedure you pull out for CTE. From what we know, guys, none of us are doctors, and we don't play none on TV. It's just this has always been the elephant in the room with what is this shit?
You know what? It sounds like I'm making a joke, but I'm not. But
yes, you are.
we just got finished talking a little while ago about Shannon Sharpe, and at 50-year-old, what was his thought process? How much damage did he take to his head? That's made that.
No.
Yeah.
I get where you're going with that.
I'm just saying that we don't know, because we're looking at it from a sense. Listen, I've never had a concussion, and I don't believe that I ever had anything that would cause me to have CTE. And so when I'm speaking about behaviors and what I would or wouldn't do, I'm speaking for someone who believes at least that I have full capacity. So I don't know in some of these cases of what part of their brain, because the brain has different functions depending on where you get hit.
Right.
And some of they talk about it a lot with young people, and the myelin sheath and the part of the brain that controls their ability to reason. And this is why a lot of times you know, they don't want young people. When we talked about the age thing, they don't allow younger people to do certain things legally because they don't have the same reasoning skills that someone in their mid-20s have. And trust me, I've seen that. So who knows what kind of damage that would allow somebody to appear to be a totally functioning person, but maybe part of their reasoning skills was impacted. So I'm just I'm just throwing it out there.
That's always the elephant in the room, Dave, because we're
Yeah,
so
we don't.
uneducated.
We
can
don't
say
know. Because I know, like within the wrestling community, it was like a really debated topic whether this, like, is this guy just a piece of shit, or was he a victim of the CTE? It's like, was it a conscious thing, or was it something that was done because of that? It's like they still going back and forth about that. And I actually wrote an article about it because Chris Benoit was my favorite wrestler. Like, he had some classic. I think like the match between him, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels is probably like the best triple threat match ever.
Right.
If you've never seen that, you should watch it. And the matches that he had with Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle said, you know, people want me to like not talk about Chris Benoit, but if I do that, I'm eliminating my best matches. He said I had some of my best matches against Chris Benoit. So it's a tragedy, you know, because of what happened. But how much do we really know about this thing?
That's the problem. I'll tell you what, R. I got a little nervous after seeing the stills, and then seeing the picture of you holding a semi.
Okay.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
Where we need him?
Thank you, Dom.
So
I was like, where's R where we need him?
I want to bring up a point as far as what you said about Shannon Sharpe. So for you to say that, I'm not going to say us. I'm going to say for you to say that. Can we say the same thing for Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm just.
Well, that's the thing about, and I'm not going to say that these people have mental illnesses, but that's the thing about it is there's so much that we don't know about it, and there really isn't a standard of, well, this is how somebody should behave. You know, people respond just like drugs. Somebody may drink or take drugs and behave one way. That doesn't mean that you're going to behave that way.
100%.
And how many people do we know of that they're hanging out with their friends who use drugs regularly, and they use it one time and they're never the same. So we just
it's happened in my lifetime.
Yes,
not to me, but
right.
To me,
we all know people like that. So the brain is a mystery.
All right.
I will say one thing, and this is like very rare for me to do, to give Will Smith props. But that movie that he did really opened up my eyes because I wasn't really even thinking about it.
And Hollip was on that. Hollip was on that CTE thing with the helmets and stuff. Yeah, concussion thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Hollip was always on that. I remember years back with the helmets and the extra patent. Hollip was one of the first people that I remember talking about.
Right.
With the helmets.
Yeah, with the helmets.
I think a bigger issue is like, that CTE sounds like a serious issue, but I don't think the DC sniper has CTE. So like, CTE is a crazy problem, but that gun that man had should not be accessible by a civilian.
No, like, and you know what? You bring up something,
Shami. You should be able to get your hands on. And I know what kind of gun that is. Like, you should be able to get your hands on that. So whether he has CTE or not, that shouldn't have happened. And then, like, in terms of his mission being accomplished, unfortunately it was. And there's about 5,000 people. I don't know why he didn't shoot up his high school because he never played for the NFL. But anyway, there's probably about 5,000 people that's going to think they have CTE because their life's not going right. That might have taken whatever drug they might have had. That's going to come up with the same complimentary story and try to mirror what he did. And now the whole country's on full alert from some idiots claiming that their life is where it is because they played high school football. Like, this is crazy.
But we're supposed to be on alert and stuff of that nature. How does that even happen? I'm like, you got cameras, you got all of this stuff, and that happened?
You know what? We're talking
about
a 50 to 75-foot walk from where he
Yeah.
double parked.
That was confusing to me. Yeah.
It's not
You
even,
understand?
It's not even that far.
Yeah.
I've been in that office.
Was Ronan trying to say something?
I sold advertising to the NFL, so I've been to that office. It's a very short walk. And then if you think a security guard is sitting there for an 8-hour shift staring at a camera, you are sorely mistaken.
Yeah, I can tell you that. Exactly.
In New York, the culture is to mind your business. So somebody not noticing him is not far-fetched.
Yeah, that's
it's not far-fetched. But again, Shamik, let me just say this real quick. I know the gun, because I just found this out recently. The gun he got from a supervisor at his job at some casino.
Casino.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can do that in Vegas. Like I used to live in Virginia and I know in Florida, you can buy all kind of weapons in somebody's backyard. But that's a problem, though.
That is a huge problem. Exactly.
You're giving people like we're in a society where people have mental health. It's documented how many mental health issue people there are. Now you give them the capacity to go get weapons of mass destruction. Like if he ran in there with a 38, the most people he could kill is 6 people. We shouldn't be having people with automatic rifles with banana clips that hold 30 to 50 rounds. Like this is that's the real problem.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That ain't the problem.
It's one of them.
That's not the problem because we just had an incident at a Walmart where a guy went in there with a damn knife. And they don't have no guns in London, and they have murders and terroristic threats. It's easy to say. It's easy to say.
Do they have weapons of mass destruction in Europe where somebody?
But it's easy to say. It's easy to say that because that's the weapon he chose.
Right.
There's been a million cases where that weapon wasn't chose. It might have been a 9mm that holds 15 rounds. It could have been a knife that somebody was yielding. And guess what? The incident I'm talking about with the Walmart, somebody with a gun intervened and put this dude down and got him to finally surrender. Again, I'm not saying, guys, don't get me wrong. I am not condoning or condemning such acts. All I'm saying is if it wasn't that weapon, it would have been another weapon because his mission was the mission. The weapon just happened to be the weapon of choice. It could have been any weapon, guys. He could have went there with a fucking hand grenade.
We were just in Atlanta. You see people shooting AR-15s and stuff at the range. There's a lot of responsible gun owners. I don't think it's the gun that's the problem.
They shoot AR-15s in DeKalb County too. I'm just saying these weapons that have been introduced to society, because you're never going to stop people from getting something by making it illegal to have them. So somebody's going to always have a gun.
Well, that's another problem though, Craig. That's bigger than the problem you're saying, because 90% of the people I know, and Bishop's not on the line, we live in the South. 90% of the people I know have legal guns.
Right.
They're legal. They went and purchased them legally, got them legally, went through a background check legally. And again, these bootleg shit, that's what's got to stop, because even with these weapons of mass destruction, the automatic system has supposed to be disengaged on these weapons, just like an M16. You're not supposed to be able to go get a weapon, an M16, even the military got rid of the brrr, and it's just the most you could get is a three round burst of a military style M16. Right. So when you buy it in the civilian, that system is taken out. So you could only pop. But again, you got these people that, forgive me for saying it, this bootleg shit, and 90% of the people buying this from these bootlegs, they ain't supposed to have a weapon. And I'm not saying everybody that has a criminal record should not have a weapon. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying this seems to be the disconnect that we have with legal, illegal, purchasing, non-purchasing. Again, like I said, he could have went in there with a 9mm.
Let me just ask this, and I understand. I agree with you with Dom, but let me just ask this part. So when we talk about people that are purchasing weapons legally, how many mass shootings have we heard where the weapon was purchased legally?
Right.
And the person wasn't a criminal until they committed that act. Right. So a lot of times we stand on this, well, they're legal gun owners, but there are some people, and there's case after case where you've had these mass shootings where the person, they didn't, it's not like they were going out there shooting people before or committing crimes. They bought it and then they used it to commit a crime. So it doesn't really matter to me whether, you know, we put a lot of emphasis on legal versus illegal. But if you're going to do something or have been triggered to do something, it doesn't matter to me whether or not it was legally purchased or illegal purchased if you still use it and kill people.
You know what I would be interested to know? What's the amount of these crimes where you have like these guys shooting up the spot happen in open carry, constitutional carry state? I would be interested to know like what the percentage is. Are they doing this in places where people ain't got guns? Or are they doing it in a place? Because I know if you do try to do some old mass shooting in a gun carry state, good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly.
But with
good luck with that. Somebody gonna put two in your head.
That's open carry state, and that shit happened in Texas. They killed all those kids in that school.
But the thing is, guys, nobody's saying that it's going to. I hate to say that the one size fits all. A mass shooting can be 3 or more people. So you got somebody that does a drive-by in South Central Los Angeles or downtown Chicago, and he shoots 4 people. That's a mass shooting. Now, does he have a legal gun? Is it? I doubt it, because the weird thing is, like a city like New York, y'all guys got some of the strictest gun laws known to man.
Right.
So that's like Holland said, you come down south, forgive me for saying it, but you don't know what you're running into. And in New York, it should be even easier because you know the laws are so fucking tight that I should be able to walk around thinking I'm good. Don't get me wrong, guys. You're never good. I lived a different life. You're never good. Don't get it twisted. But you would think in a place like that, or flip the script.
Well, they bring this stuff to New York.
They bring this stuff to New York. This is the point I'm making. There's no one size fits all. It could be a licensed firearm, a non-licensed firearm.
Yeah,
I have a real simple solution to shit. Like for me, who's responsible for your life?
You
are,
of course.
So don't tell me about no gun control. I'm not trying to hear gun control. If I'm responsible for my life, then I need the tools to protect myself. Because if I get killed, let's say in New York or something, I can't sue the government.
No.
For failing to protect me. My family can't get paid because the government failed to protect me. So if you don't have any liability and responsibility for my life, then you can't tell me that I can't protect mine.
Where do you live, Hollop?
I live in New York, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I respect that viewpoint, and I'm gonna be very candid. So I'm a convicted felon. I got caught with 2 guns as a convicted felon because I believe in that philosophy. But what I'm saying is the reason why I have them is because unlike Dom, 90% of the people I know that carry guns ain't got no business with them, and they not legal. So I'm gonna always allegedly have a firearm, and I'm gonna deal with whatever consequence comes with it.
Thank you.
When you start having these military grade weapons, like if I wasn't a convicted felon and if I speak to any of my friends, I'm gonna tell them to watch that. And that's the reason why you need to get a gun. I told my sister got her license, and my brother-in-law. I said, you are civilians. Go get your license and get a gun, because you're not going to survive if the playing field isn't even. So you can go in a fist fight and fight a guy with a gun, and you're going to lose every single time.
You got to remember, too. You got to remember something else, Craig. When you use the word that's so frequently thrown around, military-grade weapons, they're not military-grade weapons. They mimic a military-grade weapon, but they're not a military-grade weapon. If you purchase it legally, it is not yes, it could be an M16, a 1, 2, 3, 4, but there's no automatic system in these weapons. You cannot purchase a legal M16. You cannot purchase a carbine. None of them legally that shoots more than 1 bullet. It's like a giant pistol. It's the fucking people that are bootlegging this shit, learning how to go back in the weapon, putting the automatic system back in it, and now you got a machine gun.
And
not we, since I'm retired, but the military don't even have that shit no more.
But
yeah, machine guns, yes, M50s, M60s. Yes, those are automatic weapons.
There's a lot of people that know how to do that. I know you
exactly,
know
Craig.
You might even know how to do.
Of course, yes, of course.
What I'm saying is, when I say military grade in the streets, we refer to that as a military grade. Even a Mac 10, we refer to as military grade. Anything outside of a handgun.
The military never once possessed a Mac 10.
No, I know that, but based on I know that based on the verbiage,
right,
to somebody coming from the army for a lifetime, yeah, but in the streets, that's considered a military grade weapon. Like if somebody comes with a big trunk, they say I got military type weapons. That's what they're referring to. Like that's a big weapon.
I get it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
And walk. You can't even conceal that thing.
But think about it though, Craig, guys. In order to get a weapon like that, you're as illegal as the motherfucker selling it. Because those weapons are illegal. These politicians go around grandstanding every 2 years on some bullshit that ain't bullshit no more. If you ain't going after the people doing it, shut up. Sit your ass down and shut up. Because I'm like Holland. I live in a state where I can carry a weapon. Concealed, open, whatever. And I don't do it all the time, guys. For some strange reason, I told you all the story, guys. Up until maybe 3-4 years ago, I never touched a gun after I retired. I had enough of that shit. But circumstances said, Dom, you might want to. Yeah, but it's not like I carry this shit everywhere I go. I mean, I can't live in that type of fear. Right. But there are times that I think to myself, what the fuck if something was to happen? And I know, for one, no boasting, no fucking feathers, but I did this shit for 22 years. So obviously I know how to shoot a motherfucker. But I just don't feel comfortable.
That sounds like
I don't know if that makes sense, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
it makes perfect sense.
You know, me and Craig have had these conversations.
Because most people like they like going and shooting their gun at the range. They don't even like carrying it.
Right.
And you know what? I told R, before he got to Atlanta, and R was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go shoot a pistol and maybe an automatic." I was like, "Man, R, you know what? I can't remember the last time I fired my weapon."
I do remember, and like I told you, I haven't fired one in decades.
You know what R said? Go shoot it. I'm like, you're right.
Yeah, I haven't fired one in decades.
There's so many places out here, like, not to get off topic, guys, but there's pawn shops out here that have indoor ranges.
Yeah, they do.
And I can't speak for anybody. I can't speak for anybody but myself. But me personally, I like going to the range and shooting. I really doubt if I'm going to be carrying because I ain't got beef like that. I ain't no gangster. I ain't people to roll up on me.
The reason I don't like going to the ranges here, because it's like, I hate to say this, certain people did certain jobs in the Army. Let's just so when, like, the one time I went to the range out here. Mind you, guys, I live in an area where we have all the spooks, not a racial slur.
Yeah.
We have all the spooks. We have the CIA. We have the fucking JFK Center. All these places I happen to do business with years ago. So I go to the range, and there's this motherfucking SF guy. Whoa, let me show you how to. I'm like, so I give him the weapon. I play dumb. And then I thought, this is why I don't do this shit. Because I don't want somebody acting like this is, everybody got to be like that dick measuring.
Right.
Really?
Right.
Guys, we're not going to sit here and start taking off our helmets and looking at the fucking check box. We're not doing that, are we? Right. But they get so hyped down here. Like, I said, fuck it. That's what I mean, Art. That's why I haven't shot in so long. I can't do this shit, man. I wish there was more outdoor ranges here.
But,
and there's not.
How raise a point that I was really wanted to ask about, because we talked about New York City versus the South, and how New York has some of the toughest gun laws. So yeah, we have a lot of guns out here, but ordinarily, unless somebody is struck as an unintended target, most people don't have an issue unless they have some kind of beef. We don't really have a situation, and this Monday situation was a non-New Yorker that came here because the NFL offices were here. But we don't really have situations where we're in the store and we have these mass, shooters that come in with this agenda. It could be a robbery, and to Dom's point about a mass shooting could be 3 or more people, but that's usually something gang related. Or drug related, and something went wrong. It's not because somebody woke up and said, "I don't feel good, I don't like myself, and I'm going to go in here and start taking out people." So the gun culture is prevalent, but it is a different type of situation, and these guys aren't getting these high powered weapons. Most of the times, it's because you got people that can't shoot. And they're finding, these young guys running around here with these guns, or somebody bumped somebody, or somebody looked at somebody the wrong way, and that kind of stuff. No. But it's not really people with agendas where they woke up that morning and said, "I'm going to take out as many people as I can." It's a circumstance that happens.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy. I think it's crazy to keep weapons away from people who are, law-abiding citizens.
I think it's insane as well.
We still are. I don't know about where y'all live because it's probably almost impossible to get a handgun, but we're still doing background checks, guys. I didn't just go to a store and say, "Hey, Dave, I want a red dot 9mm." Right. No, I had to go through the same process as everybody else. I'll tell you what, though, guys. What scares me more than anything else is seeing a motherfucker. I don't mean to curse. Seeing somebody that has an open carry, that don't want to sacrifice the $150 and the 8 hours, so they have to have their shit open. That's where it could be seen. Okay. Nothing scares me more than that. Serious, guys.
So if I understand what you're saying, in order to have a concealed, you have to have
8 hours.
Okay.
8 hours.
So if you have to show it, then that means that you didn't go through. No. Okay, I didn't know that.
You know what's funny? I'm the exact opposite. It don't scare me at all.
Well, we grew up in different cultures.
Yeah. Like when I'm in the South and I see open carry, it does not bother me at all.
Yeah, because you're not used to it. Me, especially where I live, it's a predominantly military town. So when I see somebody, the first thing I think of is maybe he thought he couldn't pass the test, or you still got to go to the range. You still got to pop the weasel. You still got to take your weapon apart, put it back together. They can't do this shit. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay,
because 8 hours. Okay, and granted, I ain't throwing nobody under the bus because you'll never know. But I didn't have to go through all that shit because I know so many fucking people. They were like, "Come on, Dom, really?"
Yeah, right.
But when I see somebody with a weapon, I'm like, this motherfucker. I serious. Those are the days I wish I had my gun. Right. I'd be like, this motherfucker.
I went back and I looked at the picture with the time stamp on it.
Yeah.
It's almost 6:30.
Yeah.
Monday evening.
Yes.
Summer in New York City.
Yes.
How does he get that far with the gun out like that?
What time did he shoot the first round?
Everybody left work.
Well, mostly everybody left work.
I'm not discounting that everybody left work, but we're talking summer in New York City at 6:30.
Listen, I've been in that area.
Still out.
Of course, I've been in that area at that time. I've been there, and it is heavily populated with people going home. There's some people just milling about, whatever the case may be, but it's a heavily populated area at that time. I know, trust me, I've been there.
So let me ask.
It's on Fifth Ave or Madison.
As a New Yorker,
Park Avenue.
As a New Yorker, and Rodney can probably attest to this. It is not shocking to me at all in a crowded area that if you're a New Yorker, most people, if they were to see that, they would be trying to get somewhere. They wouldn't be trying to stop it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
No.
They'd be like,
Right.
"Oh shit, what is going on with this nigga? Let me get out of
Get
here."
away from here.
But
Yeah.
but nobody made a phone call.
But again,
That's the part.
to Hollop's point is the point I'm making. If I see somebody, not a fucking M16 or M4, if I see somebody with a pistol on his hip, my brain tells me he has an open carry permit. But my psyche and my career choices.
You're wondering about it. You're wondering about it.
My career
You're
choices
wondering
tell
about
me,
Yeah, exactly. You're wondering about it. And again, hold on, Dave. And to kind of like add to what Reggie was saying and whatnot. See, here's the thing. Even though it might have been a short walk from where he double parked and entered the building and whatnot, still in a heavily populated area with a gun that size, you can't tell me you don't see it. But here's the issue. The issue is this too. People are so on their phones.
Yeah.
You understand? Not paying attention to what's going on around them, very, very near to them, and they're not paying attention because they're
or they're not going to be involved. Most New Yorkers don't get involved in any bullshit. They try to get away from.
Where y'all live, again, no knock on where you live. I'm a New Yorker, but where y'all live, not everybody's carrying a pistol. So if I did see this dude walking down the street with a fucking M4 or whatever he was carrying, I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'll run up on him with my hands.
Understood. But at the very least, it should be a cause for concern.
Or a phone call. But see, that's the difference, guys. Down here, if you see that shit and you're strapped, well, may the best man win. Because I'm thinking, I don't know where he's going. He could be just wanting to shoot anybody. So I'm gonna try to blow his fucking brains out.
This is what my problem is. Okay. Now, in the picture, the time, this is an African-American dude. Okay. Walking with a rifle. We have gotten shot for less.
For a while.
Again, how does that, and to my point, how does that happen?
So
you understand?
Let me ask this question.
He had a suit on.
I don't know what he was wearing.
I don't think it was
that picture. Was it you, Dave?
No, we were talking about it. I thought you had a suit on too, but let me just ask the question. So what are we asking here? Are we asking how is it possible, or are we not believing that it was possible? Because the thing is, clearly he got in there and nobody stopped him. So that's a given. Now, are we asking, was there something else behind it? Or were we just curious as to how he could have gotten that far without somebody doing anything? Because nobody did anything. That's a given. So I want to know what is the question that we're really getting at?
Right, but how many people out there, Dave? I hate to keep using the word strap. We sound like kids, but how many people that may have even seen him were like, "What am I gonna do?" Well, how many people saw him, Dave, and went the other way?
Make a phone call, because I'm looking at the picture.
Yes, Reggie. That's what I said first.
I'm looking at the picture now. I'm looking at the picture. Yeah. I'm looking at the picture now.
I just did, Reg. Yeah.
He has a shirt. He has a blazer on with sneakers, pants, sneakers. Yeah. Now, if you look to the left, right where the steps are, there's somebody right there.
I know.
Again,
right before he walked in the door.
We're assuming everybody, one, is that aware, two, that conscious of shit like this even going to happen. No matter how many times we hear of shit like this happening, we don't walk the streets thinking, oh shit, who's gonna do we don't do that, guys. Yeah. I can't speak for everybody, but as a whole, guys, we don't go around, even though we've heard and we've seen and we've read that this shit has happened abundance of times. We don't, our brains don't have us out there every day like we're in a fucking war zone.
What we need, what to Reg, just to your point, what we need is a picture that shows more of the area, because you're seeing a small section of it.
I thought one of y'all sent that.
I mean, the thing that we have shows where there's a couple people here, but there's probably an area where there were more people. But my point is, I'd have been more shocked if he was walking through a crowd But the way the image is, it's very, just because somebody is standing there doesn't mean that they're looking at you.
No,
Right.
you're right. You're right.
Look, yeah, here it is, Dave.
Mhm.
I don't know if y'all can see it. I see 1, 2.
Now the
3,
people
4,
behind
5,
them to
6,
the
7.
right.
Can
People
y'all?
behind
Y'all
them to the
can't see
right.
that. The
No,
picture
we
that
can't.
it's the picture that one of y'all sent. It must have been like from a
Yeah.
street camera. I
Yeah,
see a
yeah.
bunch of people, but then again, I see people just hey, holla, hey, Dave. They're
Right.
not thinking there's somebody walking with a
Right.
fucking
Right. For
I
out of
can
your
understand that.
peripheral, yeah, it could have been. It depends on what angle they were. Just because
Right.
we have the benefit of looking at a whole picture.
Right.
They only see things from their perspective. So in that picture, depending on what angle they were, what they were focusing on, it's very easy
Now-
because that's a short distance. It's
Yeah,
not
but
like
now
you
that
had to
I'm
walk.
looking at it, Dave, I'm thinking he double parked.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm counting.
The street don't look close.
Right. Yeah, I'm counting just off the top of my head, guys. 1, 2, 6, 10, 12, 14, 16 people. I'm counting 16 people from the car to the curb, to the
Yeah.
to the sidewalk. And he
I-
walked by. He had to have walked by them. These people just didn't appear after he walked by.
It's possible that they didn't realize what he was holding.
Dave.
So because here's the other thing. It would be different if it was the Macy's parade and you had 16 cops standing there,
Right.
and the guy walked by all of them. Some people are trained to observe, and
Right.
some people have trained themselves to mind their business.
And y'all,
as New Yorkers,
Yes.
we train ourselves to mind our
mind
business.
your business.
Now, believe
Now-
me, also, I do go into spaces and I'm very observant because it's just that
You have to be.
that's the way I think. But not
It's-
everybody thinks
Right. It's
like
sad. It's sad in a way, guys, because I
And
think
that
of what
you know
y'all-
what, and what you just said, Dave, is a sad thing because
Right.
again, you know what I'm saying. Everybody should keep their head on the swivel. Bottom line.
Okay.
And that you can't teach
Get out of that.
because
Yeah, they
Again-
people
again,
need
listen-
they need to
listen
get out of
to-
that focus lock because that's what
Right.
it is.
listening to
understand what I'm
y'all talk, to y'all talk makes me think of again. Example, Iraq.
Yeah.
Fucking Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
These dudes weren't running around with a uniform on. It wasn't like me see you, you see me. We have two different uniforms.
Right.
You know, motherfuckers was walking around with, jeans.
Right.
Cell phones scared the shit out you because those was how they ignited IEDs. So did some innocent people probably get popped? Yeah. But again, we're trained to do this. Your fucking antenna's up 24/7. You New Yorkers, and forgive me for saying it, I'm a New Yorker. I probably wouldn't think shit of it either.
But Dom, I'm gonna go even further with that. Dom, you South Bronx, us, we're all of a certain age. How many of us went to parties? How many of us went? Look, growing up in Queens, we went to a lot of house parties in basements. You had to have situational awareness.
110%.
So a lot of these people of today, and a lot of people that work in New York grew up in the Midwest. And they grew up in some rural town and stuff like that. They don't have the same. Even my students lack situational awareness. I've walked into them on the street. They never even saw. I'm walking right to them, and they're so focused on their conversations, and I run right up to them, and they're like, "Oh, Mr. Sanford," they're like, because they never saw me coming. What were we trained when we went to parties? You had to look first thing you do when you went into any place is
you look for the exit.
Exactly. You had to figure out how you getting out of there. And then you peep who's coming in, especially us, when we were teenagers and young people and going to these parties where there's always a possibility of something jumping off. We were trained to have situational awareness that we've gotten away from that.
And guys, believe it or not, it was shit like that. Again, guys, I'm old enough to remember the fever. on Cedric Avenue.
I went to the Fever.
Right. At first, it was a disco, as they say.
Yeah.
And then hip hop started.
Yep.
And so I'm old enough to remember that.
Yep.
But now I'm to the point, guys, and I don't know if it's spooky or just, again, situational awareness, as Dave would say. I go to a movie theater. I have to sit all the way in the back.
Yeah, me too.
The last fucking row. So that I could see
everything.
Everything.
So you can see everything. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I went to the movies. I don't know if y'all remember. Was it Colorado when they had the shooting for the Superman movie or Batman?
It was Batman.
It was Batman.
Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And that was on the Thursday it came out. Me and my son decided to go that Friday morning.
That was in Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah, and me and my son are in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we're sitting all. And my son used to laugh at me like, "Come on, Dad, really?" I'm no,
right. No, I'm good with this one.
We're watching the credits, and the fucking lights went out. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
These are the moments you think about.
Yeah.
Where's my gun? Why didn't I bring my gun to the movie theater? And then the lights came back on. But again, it's stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
That makes your situation. There's certain things that should, even for you, I don't mean to say normal guys, but non-military. Though some of y'all have served in the military, there's certain things that automatically make your fucking spidey senses tingle.
Absolutely.
Of course,
whether you were in the military or not, there's certain things that make your spidey senses tingle. Some people don't have that, guys.
I'm gonna say
just simply don't have that.
I'm gonna share a quick story with you guys. Okay. I'm a security personnel for a corporate law firm, right? And I'm hired directly with them. I work in house with them. Now, this is during the time of, I would say probably a little bit after 9/11. Okay.
Okay.
A little bit after 9/11. So now I'm outside. This when I was smoking cigarettes. I'm outside next to Starbucks, right? Because we have Starbucks next to us. So I'm smoking a cigarette. And I notice standing on that, like not so much in the street, but like by the curb, this guy's videotaping the building. Which is kind of like, yo, bro, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You gathering intel? What's happening here? So I made sure to make a note of describing the guy, his height, what he weighed, the clothes he had on, everything, what he was doing, the time because he took like about 2 minutes. And I'm just observing this guy like, yo, so again, you have to be aware. Just like Dave used the words situational awareness. You have to observe stuff on the regular and be cognizant of it.
Yeah, 100%.
You have to be. So
It's sort of like you two guys. I don't know if y'all remember the old acronym SALUTE. Size, activity. I forgot size, activity, location, uniform, time, equipment. That them letters just pop in your head automatically because that's how you're trained.
Right.
But again, guys, we're mixing one day, not to beat this. One day when we are not doing this and we could sit at a table, and I could tell y'all stories that would.
I believe it.
I think to myself sometimes, like,
I'm sure.
Yeah, I just wish. Sometimes I just wish I never. Why couldn't I have just joined the army and been a regular fucking Joe? And a lot of shit runs through your fucking head.
Yeah.
But one day we'll be able to sit down and air our laundry.
I look forward to us sitting down, talking about a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, listen. Let me get into this last topic before we break out.
Y'all on this.
Yeah, let's get into this one. Have the elders failed the younger generation?
Wow.
Okay, what do you mean by elders?
What inspired this?
You know what?
I like it though.
I like it too.
I like it too. You know what inspired this? I was just thinking about this because let me tell you something. Me as an elder, because I'm 61.
Are you?
Yes, I am. Yes, sir. I try my best to impart wisdom, kindness, because I notice sometimes older men, don't really embrace the younger generation as they should. And by that, I mean they're particularly hard on them. You understand? There's no real mentorship. for them. As an elder, I could be standing outside on break, not know a younger person from Adam, younger man from Adam, and I will just try to impart positivity upon them. You know what I'm saying? Just a couple of words of encouragement. You know what I'm saying? And they appreciate it. And they appreciate it. And I feel proud of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
They feel they truly appreciate it. And I feel proud of myself for doing that and trying to just like lift their spirits a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Where you work?
I work in Manhattan on Lexington Avenue.
Okay, you on okay, so you east side.
Yeah, I'm right by Grand Central.
By Grand Central, yeah. I can say some things about that. But I'll say for this first. Years ago, we had respect as young people for older people because we were just raised we were raised that way. Today's generation, respect is something that they believe that you have to earn. So just because you're old or older doesn't mean that they naturally respect you. So they respect you if they feel that you have something to offer them. And it can be if you have something to impart to them that they can learn something from, then they develop a respect for you. But you can't approach it from the angle of, well, you're going to listen to me because I'm older. No, the first thing. So when I'm talking to young people, you know, in my school, I have built a relationship with them where then I can impart things to them. And yeah, they may be hard-headed, but a lot of kids have come back to me years later and say, you know, Mr. Sanford, I remember what you said to me. I heard you. I was just too young to receive it, but now I understand it. So it's about the approach of things that I think that because we came out of a generation where a lot of times we were taught, some of us were taught that, you know, young people are seen and not heard. So you didn't, even if you thought somebody was full of crap, you gave them the respect of at least, you know, appearing to listen to them. Nowadays, these young kids are like, no, well, what are you going to show me? And if they don't, so if they don't have respect for you, then they're not going to hear you. And but you have to earn that respect with them in a way that years ago you probably wouldn't have had to do.
All right. So let me ask this question, Dave. I know you work in the school system.
Yeah.
Or I'm sure you had on a suit or something when you approached this young man.
Of course. And it hasn't been just man as in singular. I've done this
young man. So now everybody know what I used to do. Anyway, everybody knows what I used to do.
Congratulations.
Thank you for that. So now I see kids going to school, you know, and I have seen kids not doing what they should be doing.
Right.
Okay. So now I have approached them, said, yo, y'all know y'all shouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z.
You trying to correct? Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So now they see me with my uniform on, and it goes left real quick, and they're like,
well, wait. How does it go left? We talking about
you can only imagine the words that's going to come out their mouth when they see a sanitation worker.
Well, this is the thing. I'm gonna tell you why, and it's unfortunate because these kids they idolize the rappers, the athletes, so and it's all showy. And so when they see a working man in a position that they don't value, they don't understand that Reggie just retired as a young man. and that he has set himself up in life in a way that many people haven't, but they don't see it that way. They look at flash, and so I'll give you a prime example. In a school building, you have your principal, you have your administrators. You know who makes the most money in that building?
The janitor.
Yes, the custodians.
Custodian, yeah.
Nothing runs in that building unless the custodian signs off on it. I don't care if you're the principal. You want to have a program in there on a Saturday, show me the permit. And these guys get paid big time. But then I'm in the cafeteria, and these kids, they don't know what a garbage can is for. So they finish eating and they'll get up and they'll walk away with the trays. And myself and the other adults in there, we clean up after these kids because I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that they are making this mess for these hardworking men and women. And so, because I respect them and these kids don't. So they look at somebody in a uniform that is cleaning up after them, and they view it as they are somehow beneath them. And then they will say to me, when I say to them, "Listen, you left this mess here," they say, "Well, that's what the janitor gets paid for." That's what they say, and it pisses that irritates me to my core. So when they see Reggie in his uniform, as, in a position that they can't even get, they don't respect it because it's not coming to them in a appearance that they appreciate. So they would rather hear from some knucklehead rapper that will come in there, and like Jim Jones came to one of my schools years ago, high as a kite, and they'd rather hear from him than hear from a man who has worked years, set himself up for life in a respectable job, but because he wears a uniform and is associated with cleaning up, they don't see the value in it. So that in that regard, I'd say we have failed them because we have allowed people who should not have access to our children the way that they have access to promote themselves and all of their activities that are detrimental. And we've allowed them to be the role models. And they walk past a working class person and not respect them.
Now, let me tell you the flip side of that.
Okay, please.
Now,
please
these are our kids. You understand?
Yeah.
So now I worked on the Upper West Side.
Yeah.
Now we all know what's on the Upper West Side.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. I get the other kids. They're so freaking happy to see me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, where's the drop off at? I can't understand it.
It's crazy.
They will stand there and wait for me to cycle the truck up. They want to see the garbage. They talk and everything. It's unbelievable. And it's like
they have an interest. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like
when I saw these subjects,
it baffles my mind.
When I saw these subjects, I asked my wife this question. And she said, "Well, what about you? How many of your own nieces and nephews have you failed? Because you've gotten to the point in your life where you're tired. You're tired of saying what to do. You're tired of being that role model. You're tired of being that example." She just asked me straight up, "What about you? What are you gonna tell your friends tonight? That you just gave up because nobody wanted to listen?" And I was like,
"Wow.
I bet I won't ask you no more damn questions that we're talking about."
Yeah, right.
But it made me think. I spent my whole life doing this shit. Yeah. And I'm not saying I need a break. We all need a break. We're all gonna get a break, you know.
Well, of course,
the thing that throws me for a loop with these young kids is something that I heard years ago. That these young people think they're never going to die. It's
They
like,
think they're never going to die, and they think they're never going to get old.
Exactly. Like, this shit's just going to go on the way it's going on now. And then I think to myself, another great saying I heard, when it's over, it's over.
Yeah.
You know, when no matter what you try to preach, teach, walk, talk, sooner or later, guys, you know, this shit is going to end.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and I thought about me and Dave, how Dave said that one day that me and Dave are in a group of two and we don't want no more company.
Yes.
It's like I used to remember telling people, even before I lost my son, the system ain't designed for your parents to bury you.
Right.
No. But at the rate you're going,
the
shit might become fucking reality.
Right.
But it was like a fucking Scud missile, you know. But then it magnified, Dave. It magnified in my life after I lost my son. I'm like, okay, this is like the fucking ultimate moment, especially for my younger family members. You know, this is Uncle Dom, that guy. He lost his son. I can't imagine what.
Yeah.
And I'm still saying the same shit to them, like, guys, get it together, blah, blah, blah. And you know what got me, guys? And I gave up. I found myself saying, I'm tired of hearing myself say the same shit.
Yeah.
So if I'm in that category of, yes, we failed them, I feel like my stripes got tired, man. Everybody gets tired.
You get fatigued.
Thank you, Dave.
Let me just say this.
Oh, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
I just want to say this. I've been doing this for 35 years. And sometimes I've had students where I told them, I said, I've met you before. Because and I tell them about scenarios, and they're like, you don't know me. Yeah, I've been doing this 35 years.
I know 100 of you.
There's only but so many personality types in history. So we revisit it. I've seen this, and I told the kid, I know how this movie plays out. So when I'm telling you these things, please understand why I'm telling this to you. But what we have learned, and a lot of my colleagues who deal heavily with our population and discipline and things like that, is we've also learned that we're not going to save everyone. No. I've lost enough students.
Right. Understood.
I've lost them to the grave or to the jails.
Yes.
Because they didn't listen. So the failure part, I'll accept to a degree. But I will also say that the ones that failed were the ones that never got into the game. If you're like Don,
I will say this, Dave, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
One of the guys I always considered my idol was First Sergeant Smith. Youngest guy ever to make First Sergeant in the United States Army. He was like 28 years old. He told me one day, he said, Sergeant Donato, you love baseball, right? I said, yes, Top. He said, if you get a hit one time out of every 3 times up, I think I told you the story, that you're batting 333.
Yeah,
exactly. Listening to him, he said, my point is, you're not going to touch everybody. But if you touch 1 out of 3, this motherfucker's in the Hall of Fame. Hit 333.
Yep. That's
and
right.
That shit stuck. That shit
and that's my point. So Dom, I mean, you don't have to tell your wife that I said this, but you have not failed them, because Dom, you were in the game. It's the dudes that stand on the sideline,
right,
and never even you pull a young man to the side. Reggie, you just say, holla. We all have done this.
We all have, right.
And we have a track record of this. You're not going to save everyone, but you're not going to save anyone if you don't participate. Right. And so the failures are the ones that stand on the sideline and don't do anything.
Can I just say this real quick? My thing is, I think honestly, and I'll be 100%, I'll be 100 on this one. I think honestly, we have failed. And I say this for a reason, and that reason is we have let social media, have a huge influence on our younger generation. You understand what I'm saying? And it's to the point where it's not positive. Okay, it's not. It's not positive. Okay, go ahead.
Let me just ask you this though: when you say we, you're talking about us here. Or you talking about society?
I'm just saying. I'm generalizing.
Here's the thing. We on the 6 of us that are on here right now.
Right.
We can only touch but so many. Now,
there's no question. That's why I generalize.
But those of us who are parents, have we allowed social media to take our jobs from us and raise our kids? No. My son was on social media, but social media didn't raise him and all of that. So social media is something that is a lot bigger than us. And
it's a lot bigger than us.
But the young people that we are impacting, you know, what have we said to them? Now, granted, it's just like you know, you teach somebody something. If they
I love how Dave just bogarted Rodney.
Exactly.
You like that? You like that, right? I just said, I'm sorry.
Not only take shots, but also bogart.
I'm passionate about this because I work. What I do, I'm working with young people all the time. So, and I'm gonna get up off of this. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying that I don't want to accept that we as a collective have failed. Now, has society done so? Yeah, they said the same thing about TV 40 years ago.
Right.
And how people had TV raising their children.
Right.
You know, so I get it. And in some way, yes, we have. But I will speak to the men on this call this evening. I don't think we have any failures on here.
And again, I agree with you. What's that again?
Let me ask you a question, and Dave,
Please.
or even Holla.
Please.
I'll let R answer because I
don't want Holla to yell at me, but I was thinking about it. Have you ever gotten to the point where you're talking to somebody and you know their parents, and you say he's gonna go home and this shit's gonna be? That's where I had gotten with a lot of my family members. You know, I could do all I can. I could be all I could be, but I know where they're going. They can't come home with me. I ain't raising nobody's children.
No,
that ain't gonna happen. I could try to do my best from the outside looking in. But have y'all ever ran across that where you know what they're going home to?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I've run across it, and again, I just give the best advice that I can give, that I can impart upon them and whatnot, and get them to think about the options. You understand? To me, it means a lot to me. Because when I say it means a lot to me, it means a lot to me that they're taking in what I'm saying and they're thinking. It's swirling around in their brain, and they just might go home and apply it and better their life. Let me tell you something. This doesn't just apply to the younger generation. And I know I put up younger generation, but I know I've helped mentally, I've helped mentally disturbed people in the streets to the point where they see me and they acknowledge me lovingly now, not just in a regular way. I know I have touched their lives in a very meaningful way, and I'm proud of that fact. I'm proud that I can reach out and do that for them and our younger generation. I'm very proud of that fact. I hold that in high regard.
Yeah.
I think I gotten to the point, guys, where I've done it for so long that I just got fatigued. You know, how long can I? Again, guys, I had a career of doing this shit. Then post career with family members.
Understood, brother.
And the youngsters, and sooner or later, guys. I mean, I do understand that you'll never get the first base if you keep your bat on your shoulders.
Right.
I understand you got to swing the bat.
You have to.
But I also understand that bat gets heavy.
Yes, and
I get it. There is a thing called retirement.
Yes.
I get it.
Yeah.
There is a thing called a retirement age too.
Right.
Thank you, Holland. Yes.
Yeah.
True that.
You can't be swinging that. You can't be swinging that bat forever. Sometimes you gotta get on a beach.
That's what I mean. How it gets heavy.
Yeah.
I'm not using. And you know what, guys? I never once. Holla brings up a great point because I never brought up my age of doing this. I'm just talking fatigue.
Yeah.
Talking burnout. Talking about the wheels on the bus. Like it's like the fucking hamster wheel. There's an old saying, guy, you do what you've always done, you get what you've always got.
Yeah, that's right or wrong.
Trying to explain that simple, to explain that simple quote to some of these young people is like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to give my thoughts on this subject.
Okay, brother.
Because I can't really answer the way I want because there's so much to unpack. But I'll just say the answer to the question, the short answer is yes. Yes, we have failed them.
Okay.
How now? Whenever I hear "we," I keep thinking of that Lone Ranger joke. Where it's like Tonto and the Lone Ranger is surrounded on all sides by Indian, and Lone Ranger says, "Look like we're done, old friend." He's like, "What do you mean, we, pale face?"
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I can't speak for the we. I can speak for me. I've mentored a few young men. As a matter of fact, you met them on the trip.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
I can speak for me and what I've done with the time that I've been on this earth.
Right.
But in terms of collectively, yes, we failed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because our philosophy, and this hurts to say this, but God knows it's the truth. Our overall philosophy as a people is the white man got this. We feel more confident in his ability to run reality than we do on our own. We don't even feel the need. I get so much pushback just saying that Black people should govern themselves. We should have our own piece of territory and have our own nation. They're like, what, you crazy?
Yes, right.
The white man got this. So if that's your philosophy, we pretty much are in the position that we're in, and that's where we need to be.
Understood, brother.
Oops, sorry.
Until we change our mentality and change our thought process, we're right where we need to be, under the nuts of white men.
Wow. And with that,
and I know that hurts, but it is the truth.
And before, let me just close out with this. I think also to the point of retirement and fatigue and all of that, I think that hopefully we have mentored and touched enough people that the younger people will then pick up the work for us.
I would certainly hope so, Dave.
And
I would certainly hope so.
Not to drag this on, but I think that is the scariest thing. Because again, we live in a society where some of these young people think they can change the world, but can't change the fucking flat. Because they've been spoon fed, they've been given.
Yeah,
right.
It's like what will you? It's not what have you done for me lately anymore. It's what will you do for me next.
Right.
And trust me, I have enough of them in my family.
Well, I'll leave you guys with something positive.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been doing this 35 years, and I can tell you that I've had many cases of young people that I have played some kind of role in their lives, and they came back and they became teachers, administrators, doctors, lawyers, and so it seems bad when we look at the younger generation. We talk about what we see of them, but I've seen many examples of leaders and future leaders too that come out of these schools too.
Thank
so
goodness.
It's not all doom and gloom, and there's a lot of good ones out there too.
Thank goodness. And with that being said, we're gonna close it out. Listen, it's been a hell of an episode. That's for sure. I appreciate everyone. David, Dom, Ronan, Hollop, Reggie, Steve, Shamik, all the people in the also Ronan Black. Thank you, brother, for being here. I truly appreciate that. And we're gonna do this again next Thursday at 8:15 p.m. And don't forget those 3 words, my 3 favorite words now: like, share, and subscribe. And if you need to find it, that is R is Untitled. Go on YouTube. Go, you know what I'm saying? Do the right thing now.
And passed it up till 10:30.
Exactly.
Love the hell out of all of y'all.
Thank you,
Same
brother.
here, brother.
Thank you,
Same.
brother.
And
Appreciate it.
before we go,
Sentiments is
one
the
more time, congratulations to Reg.
Yes.
Sir, yes,
Thank
sir.
you, thank you,
I
thank
gotta
you.
ask though. I gotta ask, Reg, where are you retiring to?
He don't even know yet.
Oh,
Man, let's see here. The world is my oyster.
There you go.
AKA, he don't know yet.
I don't know yet.
oh.
I don't know yet, but it may be south of Maryland. I could tell you that much.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. Okay. It
All
might be
right.
reaching, might be reaching that area. All right.
We're gonna go to
All
the
right.
range together, Reg.
All right, gentlemen.
100%.
Have a
All right,
great
fellas.
weekend, guys. Take
All
care.
right, brothers. Take
Thanks,
care.
fellas.
Peace out.